Hey, welcome back to the BreakRoomPod. There it is.
Yeah, it is.
Piece of shit.
Welcome back. Welcome back for a very special episode.
Woo!
Salud, boys.
Salud.
2 years.
Oh,
my
2 years
God.
of the BreakRoom Podcast.
Oh, man.
Would you believe that?
No.
Salud.
I do.
I don't know.
And to mark the occasion, Jackie Sangria himself made his famous sangria. That's what we're drinking here.
That's right.
Delicious.
So very good.
There's a
My
little bit of
favorite.
the sacrament.
Fall recipe.
Should I give him the secret recipe?
No.
Right on the
Not
air?
all the secrets, but we'll say that he usually used a different kind of juice for your sangria.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have juice, but I had
juice.
I
Apple
happened to buy
cider.
apple cider today. So it
Apple
came in
cider
handy.
sangria. That
It
sounds
tastes nice.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like the fall harvest
fall harvest.
sangria.
It's got apples in
It's
it.
got-
It's got little apple
And they're
chunks.
actually fresh from the Hobbs Apple Farm. So that's actually
Not Briarmere Farms.
picked off. No, not Brian. Man. Hobbs. Hobbs. You go all the way out to fucking Riverhead to Bumblefuck, and they have really good apples.
All right, you know what? Hold on. We were talking about 2 years, and fucking he's here and now, so we can acknowledge him right in a moment. Tricky Ricky. He just said, "I can't believe it's been 2 years already." And
Tricky!
Tricky Ricky, you were one of the people that we mentioned from here from the fucking start. We love you, brother.
From the get-go, yeah.
Glad whenever you can make it here.
I
And
want to
you're-
shout out all the people, our regulars from the
Yeah.
Dungeon Podcast, Hells. I mean, we got so
Phil.
many. Phil,
Joe.
and Joe.
Ruffy,
Ralphie.
Exacted TV.
And then thanks to the Rip and Ship Arena for
Stephen
for
Bias,
providing
my
us with
buddy.
so many Pokemon cards. To
Somebody
open
that
on
we're
the show.
missing. That's
Jackie
hurt. The
and
feelings are hurt
Renee,
right now.
Joanna and Freddie.
Yeah.
Constantly
Joe.
in our-
We can't miss anybody. Who else are we missing right now?
Mike Pacifico. We gotta
Mike
have him on the
Pacifico.
show.
Mike P.
so-
And then Yao also. Yao's
Yao.
always here.
Yeah.
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 Forgetting
Yao,
somebody.
yes,
Who are
Yao
we
is-
forgetting? They're mad at me.
Grunfelder.
No, I
Oh,
mentioned
no, he
Gruffy.
mentioned Gruffy.
What about the guy that goes on your stream a lot? The real...
Oh, the real Rocket Boy.
Real
Yeah,
Rocket-
real
yeah,
Rocket
see,
Boy. He's
there you
fucking,
go.
and he's actually he's starting to blow up his channel on YouTube a bit.
And
So.
they haven't been
Adam
around
AK.
lately, but,
Adam AK, there he is. So
Even
calm.
Slaughter's podcast used to watch us for a while.
Yeah,
Slaughter's daughter. Yeah, we lost
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. What?
yeah.
Slaughterhouse.
We've had a lot of good people with us on this journey,
2
helping
years.
making the show better. We don't have a Jamie anymore because I was originally kind of the Jamie, and then I'm now just
Well,
on
we don't
the
have
show.
a Zach anymore either. But
We don't have a Zach.
Zach.
Shout out to
Zach.
Zach. Still love Zach.
You know, he was part of the original flavor.
Shout out.
I
Shout
love
out
you,
to
Jamie.
Hero.
You're my all-time favorite person.
And he's still with us usually in the comments here too.
Fucking Anakin Skywalker.
It makes the show like worth so much better because all of our brains are just rotting. Like we're all
I
getting
can't remember
old, and
anything.
all of us
Getting
except
old,
Joe
that's
smoke. And then thankfully we have you guys fact checking us and
Speak for yourself. I look phenomenal.
Unlimited
Yeah.
confidence.
Fine wine, my boy. Fine wine.
Well,
Yeah.
So happens when you
Fred-
take
You know what
care
happens when wine ages too
take
much? It
care
turns
of your
into
body.
vinegar.
take care of your body. You only get one body, Christopher. I was ready to film 2 hours ago.
I got enough for 2 bodies here.
So pissed. I don't know where I put that pen. Did I give you that
I
pen?
got the pen
did.
right
All
here.
good.
We appreciate all you
nice.
guys though. It helps drive the show for sure.
Rob, why don't you talk about where you're going to be mañana?
Oh yeah, so tomorrow, if you're local to Long Island, New York, the Blue Point Brewery out in Patchogue is going to be having their annual Cask Ale Festival, and yours truly, as the real life Peter Griffin, will be attending. And they're making a single cask of the Pawtucket Patriot ales.
Wait, you're the real life Peter Griffin?
I know, right?
Wow.
Could you
Is
believe
that,
it?
is that the
Is
real
that-
life?
that-
Peter
is it
Griffin?
That
Every
fat
time.
guy?
It'll just be a video of like me and Joe like screaming at each other, and then Rob will just be there like on the side, just like laughing, and then it'll be like, "Is that Peter Griffin?"
Is it that
Caught
fat
me.
guy? Is it him?
Family argument.
Is it the guy with the family?
He-
But,
Oh.
yeah, so I'll be there from 1 to 6 tomorrow. It's always a good time, and the Pawtucket Patriot ales they come up with are very tasty. They came up with some kind of recipe last year for me,
Nice.
and they're like, "Did you like the one last year? Do you want to make it different?" I was like, "Stick with the one from last year," because
I can't believe Blue Point's making you beer.
yeah, it's very cool.
It's nuts. They
I
fucking-
that was all because of Long Island Glass, because I worked
right.
there 420 Festival, working for Long Island Glass initially, and then
With Joe Itza.
Yeah, with Joe Itza, another friend of the show, gifted me my first and one and only bong, which is really cool. But they ended up having me out for that 420 festival. Had a really great time. Met the people from Blue Point. They loved me, so they ended up hiring me for the 420 festival directly So
They
for
liked
the last
you?
couple of
It's
years,
weird.
they've had me directly out as a guest for the show itself. And then last year they approached me for the Cask Ale Festival, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go."
You gonna have some beers?
What?
How many beers?
1 beer?
What?
2 beers?
What?
3 beers?
What?
Oh, case of beers!
What?
Tequila.
But
What?
And a Bloody Mary.
It's literally an insane amount of beer. I think the tickets are like $75 to get in.
It's
But
more
then,
than going to see a Jets
They
game.
give you a
these days.
glass. You go in. You get unlimited refills for everything, so you get as shit face as you want. And I mean, responsibly. But
Oof, day drinking, man. I'll be asleep by 8 o'clock.
it'll be
now.
fantastic.
Can't day drink anymore.
Nobody
such
loves
an old
day
man. I
drinking
fall
more than
asleep.
Data Griffin. So
Even when I left that game.
I get really tired when I day drink. I don't know. I just start.
I'll
falling
be there
asleep.
till 6. I don't know when it actually ends, if it ends at 6 or not. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna bring my dad with me. He always has a good time at that.
Hell yes.
Fucking A. But that's my tomorrow. And then Vincenzo is going to be coming with me to the Tundra. November 18th, we're going to be going to...
Not the tundra. There's only one real tundra, but I know what you meant by that.
Well, I mean, like, it was 7 degrees and it was sunny out in the day. That's what I mean. Tundra.
Minnesota.
We're going to the Maplewood Mall once again for MapleCon. They reached out to me. They said they were begging for another MapleCon. So
That's...
Help
I'm
us out.
shocked. I didn't think that... I wasn't sure it was going
I
to
get more
survive.
comments about people meeting me at that convention than like anything else almost. Like,
People were coming to the mall that day because they heard you were there. That was pretty much... He was drawing crowds to the mall.
Are we
I had a
not,
line.
That's like...
How are we not monetized yet?
And
I mean,
we were
they don't
stationed next
know
to
Because
a show.
fucking some other break room podcast stole our fucking name. That's why you fucking
Yeah,
cocksuckers.
fuck you guys. Are you 2 years
Pieces of
old? I didn't
shit.
think so.
We got 2 years.
We didn't buy
You guys
one of
started
these.
last December.
We weren't the first, but we're the fucking best. God damn it!
More
Bunch of
people.
fucking losers! You're dealing with fucking professionals here!
Hell yeah.
115,000 fucking followers.
Fake
they
followers,
fucking bought.
bot
Go
farm.
scratch your
It's
ass.
a bot farm.
They're all looking for him on that fucking channel. Is what it is.
They're like,
well,
where is he? Where's that
motherfuckers.
lovable fat fuck?
They still
Where
can't.
is he?
They're like, wait a minute.
That
Is
head
that?
is a phony.
I didn't notice it first, but is that the real life Peter Griffin?
Is that?
Is that him? Oh my god, it's him! Help!
Yeah, it's
My sister met you once at Comic Con. Pictures.
Everybody's sister made it at Comic
My
Con.
grandmother.
I just want to say shout out to Super Plus Show and Jackson the Game Dude for
Shout out.
They both say hi, so
Super.
they
Plus
probably
show.
saw your story and they were like, it's Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin's here.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
He's at the mall? He goes to the mall?
He goes to the mall.
Right.
The Family Guy.
Yeah.
I'm a mall rat. What can I say?
What else you got going on? So when is that? That's in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
November 18th.
Oh boy.
It's a one-day thing, but at least it's not December 3rd like last time. So we got a little bit earlier in the year, so maybe it won't be so frigid. But it's probably going to still
It's
be
gonna be
frigid.
chilly.
Yeah, I'm wearing the fucking thermal hoodie and the parka. Like it's
Do
got a
it.
double layer up.
Do it.
But
Now.
Do it
yeah,
now.
so that'll be a lot of fun. That's it for like the year, and then God knows what's gonna.
I told you you're
happen
going to be
next year.
Christmas in 2024. We're going to be talking New Year's. We're going to have to do our whole year recap and talk about the fuck even happened this year.
Jesus.
So I feel like I blacked out.
We
Woke
go
up
through a
on the
list
other
of
side
all
of
the
this.
people who died. We'll save that. I
In
guess, for
memoriam?
the-
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't need
have
one
to-
of
we'll have
those.
to
You'd,
do it
ha-
at the
you'd,
end of the
you'd
year.
have to dedicate an episode just to that. I mean,
Everybody died
we
this
lost a
year.
lot of fucking people this year.
Paulie Walnuts.
It was like
Well, start
2016
going through it.
all over.
We got to
again.
save it.
That's a lot.
Don't start going through it.
Ray Liotta.
Save all the debt.
Oh,
Ray.
that's
Ray.
nice.
It's a sin.
For as long
young-
back as I can
Yes.
remember.
I always wanted to be.
You got to get like
Go
the
ahead, go ahead,
fucking
go ahead.
cigarette
Go
voice.
ahead.
You got to get as far back as I can remember. I always wanted to be a gangster. I can't even do it right now. I gotta smoke before I do it. That's why.
Well,
I love when
Far back
Ray
as I
Liotta
can
fucking
remember.
slams Clint Eastwood as like so I forgot he's on like one of those British talk shows and they're like, who was like the biggest egomaniac actor you ever like came across that wasn't as good an actor as they pretended to be? He's like Clint Eastwood. He just like belts it is on the tip of his tongue. He goes Clint Eastwood. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking funny. And everyone's looking around like Ray, and he's like, I don't give a shit.
And
So
now he's dead,
perfect.
so
Unapologetic.
Perfect.
it's kind of ironic that he outlived him. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. Live
Yeah,
a hard,
well,
live
that's
a hard
we'll
lifestyle.
save that for the end of the year, our little memoriam there.
Don't even start. Oh my god.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Every store I go to, you know what really grinds my gears?
There we
The
go.
fact they put fucking Christmas shit up your ass at the beginning of October.
It's
I mean, what the hell? I want a pumpkin, and you're trying to shove gingerbread men up my nipples.
we can't even get to Thanksgiving before they're putting up the Christmas tree at this point.
They had things. They had
probably
Christmas
putting
stuff up
fucking-
after 4th of July.
They're probably putting fucking Valentine's shit out by now. You kidding me?
Oh, dude, it's terrible. I hate it.
Why even have the holidays? Just skip over them.
I just remember
Skip them
working
all.
at the Smith Haven Mall, and they had Halloween. They had a whole Halloween crazy thing in the middle, and then November 1st,
Yeah.
the
Overnight.
Christmas tree was up.
Oh,
I was like, what the
fuck
fuck?
around.
Listen, Santa's got to work more than 1 month a year. You know, he's got
that's
to make rent.
Listen, these corporations got to make more money.
Corporations,
Listen, I'm telling you, bro.
Galukovich.
Speaking of fucking corporations in the video game world, fucking Bungie.
Fucking
What the
Bungie.
fuck is going on since Sony took over?
Not a good start.
They
right?
are cleaning fucking house. I think they've confirmed that they've let go over 100 employees, hardworking people who need to pay their fucking bills, take care of their family, put fucking food on the table. The entire Destiny community, which I am a big part of, I've been playing Destiny now for almost a decade.
Game sucks.
Your sister sucks, and she sucks good.
Game sucks.
As a sister.
You has a sister?
Yeah.
Chrissy.
She sucks. Anyway,
Chrissy,
take it easy.
Chris's sister's
me
name is
fucking-
Chrissy, and she'll come down here and torch this whole
I'll
fucking
torch this
basement.
place.
Get
Right
her
now.
on the
I'll
show.
fucking
Not my
end this
basement. Of course his
podcast and
basement.
piss on you.
Get her
you
on
son
the
of a bitch. Cast aspersions.
the game is starting to dwindle down. The actual amount of users and people that are playing simultaneously has
How many
completely
years old
dropped.
is it?
I just fucking said, are you listening? Are you paying attention?
You said
No.
games. I didn't hear what you
I said I've been playing it for a decade,
No,
motherfucker.
no, no,
well,
no,
how
no,
long
no.
has
Hold on,
Destiny-
you prick.
Destiny 2?
Destiny
Two.
2 specifically.
Destiny 2 has been out since 2016.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. They got that much time out of it?
Well,
Well,
Destiny.
of course it's dying down. How
When
many
did
times can
Destiny
you
1
play
come
fucking
out?
Crucible on the fucking same couple of maps, I'm
I
sure?
played it this morning.
It's not even like a Warzone game where you're fucking,
Whoa.
you know,
That's
it's
another
this
one
big
right now.
map. It's
Well, the thing about Destiny that keeps driving you back is getting god rolls, right? So you have a new gun come out, and you want to keep grinding until you finally get that roll that really
The multi-tool, huh?
that really does that trick. So
Why
when
the
you go into
multi-tool was my
PvP
shit.
with it, it really does its thing, and you can house people with it. That's the enjoyment I get out of Destiny. Is my character, my loot, my guns are unique. Nobody has the rolls, the stat rolls that I've had, and that's why I'm able to fucking destroy people when I go in Trials
The
of
Boolean
Osiris
Gemini.
or Iron Banner or things like that.
And it's competitively driven.
But it is, and it's actually getting more competitive now because a lot of the casuals have just stopped playing the game. They've gone on to other games. They're just frustrated with the
Call of
lack
Duty
of content. They're frustrated with, Bungie's direction or lack thereof direction. So now you're only getting the people who are hardcore Destiny players, and they're all pretty fucking good at the game. So that means that you're actually getting nothing but sweaty matches playing a control in the Crucible, which would just be a chill mode. But it's a fucking sweat fest now because the only people left
captured
playing
Zone
the
B.
game are the hardcore Destiny community. So
Yeah.
it's starting to just not get fun anymore. And I'm just worried that the final shape, which is the last DLC expansion that they announced last year,
final shape.
it was slated for February, and that's got delayed until we don't even know when now. It's to be announced. They
TBD.
don't
Oh,
know
no.
when this is going to come out. They did release a statement yesterday. It's all over. I don't want to go out it in verbatim. The Destiny community has already regurgitated Bungie's statement saying that they're going to try to make this final shape DLC the best that they ever had. They want to give it the finale that the game deserves. So we'll see what happens with that. In other gaming news, I want to just briefly talk about it because you said Modern Warfare. IGN posted the Modern Warfare campaign review, not the multiplayer review, because now if you had early access, you can play the campaign early. That's what they've done the last 3 years with Call of Duty, and they gave it a 4 out of 10.
Good.
This is
Good.
1 year where
Everything
I am not.
is proceeding as I have foreseen it. Fuck that game.
It's going to be 1 year.
Dude,
where
why
I
don't they
buy
just
it.
come out with a third one? I mean, it's
It is.
2016.
It's-
What the
no,
fuck?
it's Modern Warfare 3.
It is Modern Warfare
it
3. It is the
sucks.
third one.
No, I'm sorry. I'm back on Destiny right now.
Oh, Destiny 3?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you in a delay from the
I'm
show?
fucking my
His brain's mush.
I don't know how many times I can tell you.
Listen, you know about those drugs that turn your brain into mush.
I've been boiling and fucking piss all day. So
To be fair, I don't know what we're talking about.
you moved on quickly. I'm still thinking about Destiny 3. I'm like, they laid off all these fucking people.
Yeah.
They should have never fucking. They should have just stayed on Halo. They should have never
Couldn't.
fucking left.
Microsoft owns Halo.
Yeah, they could have stayed.
No,
Microsoft owned Halo from the start. They
No.
could have had the food and beverage job. They had to fucking go to fucking work on Destiny.
You wanted to be on TV.
They wanted to be on
that's
TV.
right.
They
I
wanted
want
to
them
be
to
on
say, well,
Sony,
no,
and then
they
Sony
can't
laid them
fuck
off.
with me like I'm an unknown.
They wanted independence and they wanted to work on something new.
They wanted
wanted us-
independence, so they went and worked for a company that just sold itself
that
to
didn't work.
PlayStation.
No, that
so
sold
they
it-
literally
No.
worked for the enemy.
Even more ironically, they left to go work for Activision, who sold itself to Microsoft anyway, but before they had already left and went independent and then got bought by Sony.
What a crazy ride that was.
Yeah,
Right?
Bungie's
You're
been-
part of Xbox. You're part of Microsoft Game Studios. You decide you don't want to make any more Halo games. You want to make your own IP. Then you move on, and Activision
They
takes over Bungie, becomes its own entity, and now Activision is purchased by Microsoft, and they decide to kind of leave Activision
They
before that,
deserve-
and they get purchased by PlayStation, by Sony. It's insane.
Bungie deserves every fucking ounce of credit for making Xbox a viable platform.
Oh, absolutely.
Halo was the game. It was
Halo
a launch
was the
title.
game to get. Absolutely.
That's why they
It
should have
was the
stayed
reason
on
to get the
Xbox.
console.
Yes.
So Microsoft, no matter what, owes Bungie forever.
Yes.
People that stayed behind in 343, I hear good things about Halo.
Yeah.
Not to pivot too hard.
Come
but-
on, you know
Maybe
full
they'll-
well the reason people bought Xboxes was for the fucking Shrek game.
And to the Bungie news, what I saw was it was a layoff of basically the Destiny 2 support team because the numbers have dwindled so hard. It wasn't key developers. It wasn't like, you know, your key game development team. It was more of the support team behind Destiny 2. And because the numbers have dwindled so hard,
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but that's easy to say when you're not in the thick of it and you're not one of the people who doesn't have an income anymore.
no, I'm not down.
But just because
that,
they
I
laid off people doesn't mean the company's dead. And, you know,
We're not saying that.
Lots of
We're-
companies
we're-
lay off slews of people. And then,
Well,
you
it's
know.
happening
It's a
across the
bad-
board now.
Yeah, there's definitely a glut right now of, especially in tech and software. There's a
People are
glut.
not hiring.
Nope.
They're laying off, casualty workers and they're
More
just kinda,
with less.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
Just,
Can't wait to make the same amount of money and do more work.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
just
Combining
just
those.
group shop them, right, guys?
Just
Group shop.
Ouch.
I could say that now. Fuck you. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. You piece
Somebody's
of shit.
watching.
So, I mean, it's not a good look, though. To your point, Sony just acquired them.
right.
Now we're looking towards the, hopefully looking forward to the future of what Bungie can do and
You
try
gotta
to make PlayStation a more viable multiplayer platform because right now it's just not. It's not where you go to play multiplayer games.
Said that last week. Thank you for saying that again.
Yeah, I hear that. That's kind of the common thing. You either play your multiplayer on PC or you have an Xbox and you get a PlayStation to play the single player shit.
Well, here's
So-
what I'm concerned with because when they signed on with Sony exclusively, they did say that all of their games were going to be multi-platform. They weren't going to be an exclusive
That's good.
Sony branded developer.
I feel like that's what they always say, and then fucking
Money
now
talks.
Starfield is only on
That-
Xbox.
if
you
things
know?
start to get dirty, if Activision's like, all right, Call of Duty's only on Xbox from here on out, then they will probably
listen.
pull the Bungie card and be like, okay, well, Destiny 3 or whatever else is only on PlayStation, and then we're going to have a real fucking war.
On the flip side, Microsoft, I can't imagine having the new Call of Duty after the acquisition finally went through after the 3 years suck and come
The
out
worst
on a
reviewed
4.
Call of Duty of all time.
It's not a great start.
No.
either,
Starting
to be
off.
honest, so it's
Those campaigns are usually pretty fucking solid.
probably half the reason I fucking would play because it's a lot of fun.
I didn't finish last year's game. I wasted my money on that because of you, by the way.
What?
games that
What
come
did
out.
I do?
We talked about it on the show. Like, well, you gotta get it. Me and Yao, we're gonna fucking kill it in Modern Warfare. We're gonna go on Warzone. So I fucking bought it. I never
Warzone's free. I didn't buy Call of Duty.
What do you mean? You didn't buy Call of Duty?
No, Warzone itself is free.
No, I like playing the multiplayer. I like playing the fucking.
No, I don't do that shit because it's fucking a jerk off rag video game. You stop playing it in less than one fucking year.
Any game that comes out annually.
Any
pretty much
game that
sucks.
comes out annually, you're paying Not even just $60 or $7. You're paying $100 a year for Call of Duty. I don't fucking. There's no subscription service. That's probably more than fucking cable costs. I don't know. It's fucking bullshit.
Cable's like $100 a month.
I know. I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying, $100 a year for fucking Call of Duty. No, I'm not doing that.
But a lot of games are like that.
Not annually.
Not every
There's,
year.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of
Madden,
annual
2K,
games.
There's a
They
lot.
burn out. I
Call
don't
of
pay
Duty.
the Maddens. I don't play. I'm not getting WWE games every
Actually,
fucking year. I'll
Assassin's
tell you that.
Creed did the right thing, and they
Assassin's
stopped
Creed
doing it.
stopped
doing
And now
it.
this new one looks good.
For the
They-
while,
they
Tony Hawk
Assassin's
was
Creed.
doing it. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Every year,
bad.
Tony Hawk.
Well, Tony Hawk, I always loved those.
It's a
games.
money grab.
and they
It's
weren't
bullshit.
every year.
After
the Tony
4,
Hawk.
it's bad.
Tony Hawk's Underground was the best Tony Hawk game.
So the other thing too is that there was big shakeups at Sony because, to your point, that everybody's trying to launch what's called game as a service, meaning it's either an annual subscription or they build in content every month or
Right.
fortnight. These are
Yep.
what's called games as a service. And what was going on at Sony was they were trying to get their first party developers to make games like The Last of Us multiplayer and make it a game as a service where they would try to launch content periodically similar to Fortnite. And they got rid. Actually, Jim Ryan, the guy was kind of heading up that idea, he's gone, and somebody else got promoted. And they basically said, "Yeah, we're backtracking on that. We're not going that direction because it's not. We don't think it's actually viable. We don't think that it has
Not this
the
late
kind
in
of
the game anyway.
No, it's not where their strengths are. You're just not there. If you want to get games as a service, you're going to buy Roblox. You're going to buy a company that already has that periodic, Minecraft.
I was surprised
all the
Far Cry
time.
6 didn't have the multiplayer because we had a lot of fun with Far Cry 5.
They do that with Far Cry. They every other year, they'll get rid of multiplayer and be like, "We're just gonna focus on the campaign." And then the next year, they'll be like, "We really want to have a strong multiplayer," And then
nobody's buying the game anymore because it's old news.
well, that's the sad thing and it's such a good game. And then, but every time that they make the new one, it's like, oh, maybe this one. And it's a Ubisoft
80%
game.
of
It's
the
an
game?
80. They always make 80, even 85% of a game. But Ubisoft games are there's always something about them that makes them not good enough.
The
Fucking
Rayman
Ubisoft.
games are always solid.
Well, I mean, that's when we're going back to original PlayStation. I think Rayman actually was the first game that I ever owned on PlayStation 1.
I think my first was
Kalik.
no, it was
ColecoVision.
Crash
Destruction Derby.
Bandicoot.
Galukovich?
Galukovich, the Russians.
So other gaming news that we want to kind of cover for you guys tonight is myself and Rob actually completed Mario Wonder this week.
I can't believe
So-
it. I can't. When I
Hi guys, real life Peter Griffin here with the legendary Steve Bloom, the greatest voice actor that ever lived.
It's Peter Griffin in the
Stuck. I can't I hit the button. I'm sorry.
You hit the
our
button.
production crew, the truck is
three
fucking it
people
up
that
on
are
the
hitting
2-year
technical
anniversary.
What?
What?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start it over. Rob and I this week beat the main story of Super Mario Brothers Wonder on the Nintendo Switch. For me, it's a true successor to Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I absolutely loved it. Having the bevy of all the different characters you can choose from. Some of them have different unique abilities. And they jump higher, they stay in the air longer. Yoshi doesn't take damage. He's kind of fucking cheap. But he can't change into like the elephant or the drill or anything like that. So it's a give-take with Yoshi. If you pick Yoshi, he's Yoshi, and that's it. It doesn't change.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you play any multiplayer?
I played a couple of multiplayer matches. What's cool about the multiplayer is you could actually set it to where you actually pass through the other players in the game so they don't block you when you're doing platforming, which thank God, because I would just there would be the people like Chris would just go in there and troll you, and they would just knock you off and you'd never finish the fucking level. So they did
I played a lot of Super Mario Brothers on the Wii.
Yeah.
And that would happen.
No.
Bro,
This
way
is
too much.
well done. It's jump in, jump out multiplayer, and it's very, I want to say antisocial, but antisocial in a good way, where it's like you don't need to chat with them. You can just kind of do your own thing, and you can kind of race to the flag, and whatever you get, you get. But I absolutely adored the game. I could not put it down. Okay. I played it in all my time off in between work the last couple of days.
How much did you pay for it? And did you buy it digitally or physically?
The only thing that I buy digitally is Xbox and PlayStation games. For Nintendo, I always buy the physical copies because they just resell better because they're collector's items for years later. So anything Nintendo, I'll always buy hard copies. I will always buy hard copies.
And I could swear the fucking digital copy was $20 more because I went on the Switch store.
Really?
And I could pull it up now.
Did you get more?
It was
for
$79.99. I didn't buy it because I actually hesitated when I saw the price. And then I was like, is this special edition? Is there some kind of... There's nothing. There is no additional content. There's nothing you get. I think they're charging $20 extra on a digital copy, which
That's
blows
bananas.
my fucking mind. It's the opposite
You think it would
direction
be
we're
less,
supposed to be going.
Should be less for a digital copy. Anyway, just to give it like a full rounded score, I absolutely enjoyed it. I didn't get all the seeds yet. There's still a bunch that I have left. Some secret levels. Some of the special stages are really, really hard. Overall, I absolutely adored it. And for me, Mario is one of the reasons why I got a Switch, as well as Tears of the Kingdom. I would give it a very high, for me, this is high, very high, 9.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Side scroller too.
It's an amazing game. You will not be able to put it down. I probably beat it in about 8 hours, give or take.
I saw that the playtime was like it was like 10 hours to beat it.
Give or take.
And even still, you give it such a high mark.
Well, the thing about that is it's not the kind of game that I'm gonna be done with because I could always jump in. I could always try to get into a better stage. I could always play the stage with friends. I could replay
Secret
everything with my
fucking
girlfriend.
cloud.
Secret levels, shortcuts.
Right.
So it's one of those games where it's like you beat it, but you could still pick it up and play. And it's one of those games where you don't have to invest a whole lot of time into it. You can pick it up, play a couple levels, in, out, do what you want. I don't have to sit there and memorize everything like a Tears of the Kingdom where you have to devote hours on end just to get through a dungeon or through something like that. So great game. It's definitely worth it. If you have a Switch, Switch is probably on its last maybe year or two of getting software. So I highly, highly recommend this game. Rob, how about you?
I did love it. I beat it pretty quick too. Well, they dropped 2 games on my birthday, so I was like, I'm definitely gonna play both of these games before I go back to work. So I ended up crushing Spider-Man, pretty quick.
Hold on, not quick enough according to some people in the
like
comments.
I said, I did take my time with it. I beat the first Spider-Man game in 3 days from when it was released.
Not quick enough, dude.
You beat both games before I beat one.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You beat both before I beat one. Average gamer. It's because someone who's 12 years old said that.
You could beat it in 25 hours.
We have a fucking job to go to.
I got 40 hours a week and everything else. And
the meatloaf. We want it now.
Because there were definitely times where I was just like swinging around.
I never know what she's doing back there.
Ambiance. It wasn't like I was steamrolling the entire time I was playing. It took me about 40 hours.
I got to look.
I want to hear more Mario Wonder. We already talked about Spider-Man.
I got my little spiel for that
Vin
too.
has his Spider-Man spiel.
What I was getting to is I beat that game quickly so that I could also play Mario Wonder for the time that I had. Thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a lot of musical levels, so if you're into that kind of thing with this game, it's very creative in the way that it changes the level, and they got pipes that dance up and down. They have the little encouraging flowers that tell you shit while you're running past.
Rob, how much did you love the final Bowser stage?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, no, it was
cool.
It's
They're
sick
clever,
because you have to like
everything about
bounce and stuff and like hit the hands and then like hit them on the top.
That's when you say Nintendo games. I think that's the part that you almost don't acknowledge, or they're just so fucking clever. They're smart.
Just puts you in the right mood because there's a snow stage, there's a sand stage, there's a water stage.
They always give you the biomes.
They give you the full plate of holidays and seasons.
And they all have their own song too.
Yes.
The snow level has that kind of fucking snow song
and care and polish. There is polish to these games. They don't rush them or need a patch or need a this or that.
Complete.
It's from the day it comes out, and that's what kind of separates, especially nowadays. Talk about that more.
Well,
them from others. Chris,
hold on.
Mortal Kombat.
Anytime this comes up, somebody always mentions this isn't even my argument. They'll say Pokemon was not polished and perfect.
Pokemon is its own game. It's not a Nintendo game. Yes,
Pokemon is owned by Nintendo.
No, Nintendo is owned. I'm sorry, Pokemon is owned by the Pokemon company.
I was under the impression
that the Pokemon company.
No,
it's developed by Game Freak. Yes, they are partnered with Nintendo, but it's its own company. It is not the same as Mario and Zelda. I read into this because I know we got into that debate.
It's one of the core Nintendo games, though.
It's core, but it is not part of Nintendo's development Game Freak and Pokemon Company make those games. So that's just, the reality of it. Mario and Zelda are developed by their own
Donkey
teams
Kong, like those would be
under
like
Nintendo
Mario
Game.
games.
I forgot what it's called. It's not even like Nintendo Studios, but it's like Nintendo Game Company. And you don't see like a sub-publisher. You don't see another credit to somebody else.
Well, that was the difference with Nintendo. Nintendo was a publisher and a hardware maker. It's not like
back when you had to do it all, they were the first.
yeah, of course.
What?
Rob, give me a score. Mario Wonder.
If I'm stacking this up against other Mario games,
Well, other side-scrolling Mario games. You can't put it in a 3D.
No.
of course,
it's not fair.
it doesn't compare with that kind of thing. I mean, if I would give it a 9.5, honestly.
You'd agree? Okay.
Double 9.5.
I would say 9.5. It's
Best game?
graphically fantastic.
Yes.
The music was great. It never felt like it got old
Yes.
while I was playing
Stays
it.
fresh.
A lot of variety. All
I
the
have to
levels are
ask.
so different. The things you do in each level is different. The
There is
characters.
shit to find.
yeah,
you know,
it's just-
like-
But I
Oh,
have to
yeah.
ask though. This isn't really like a sequel to like Super Mario Odyssey.
No.
Right. This is more a sequel to like
Super
it's a
Mario
callback
Brothers.
game. It's a side scroller, old school Mario.
So majority of the Mario games are in the Mushroom Kingdom. This game is in the Flower Kingdom. So it's a brand new kingdom. It's a brand new.
Instead of mushroom guys, little
Yep.
flower guys.
It's a brand new
Really?
world that Bowser has occupied.
Bowser becomes like a giant flying like drum set, like fucking rock concert thing. Like it's insane.
It's really
and like
cool.
he's got like these piranha plant
Clever
clouds
fuckers,
that
yeah.
are like protecting him.
Yep.
And with each biome that you go through, you get what's called a great seed. And the great seed expels one of the piranha plants until you're able to finally
And there's
challenge
7 of
Bowser.
them, 7 worlds. So
Yeah.
and a special world, which is a secret world, and those have the hardest levels.
I just want to make the observation that that's probably the best rated game that we've talked about on this show in 2 years.
For me, you can't. I mean, you could fuck up Mario games, but this game is just it
nail
looks
it.
so good. It's so enjoyable to just watch and play. You're not going to be able to put it down. I'm telling you.
on the
Chris,
lead-
you don't
on-
like Spider-Man? Pick up Mario. You and your girl will love it.
well, my plan is that's like a Christmas time thing.
Okay,
Probably
well,
one of us will get
That's a
it
good
and,
Christmas time
it
game.
is a good Christmas.
You know, we'll
time.
play it together. It'll be fucking cute. And,
That's fucking cute.
That's so cute.
fucking cute.
No,
Can you guys
no,
stop
bro.
saying fuck? I'm trying.
I
It's
know.
bad.
Did somebody?
I
I know.
Help.
Even my mom pointed that out to me.
Say it a lot.
I know.
She was like, "You guys say fuck a lot on this show." It's like
You guys bring out the worst in
you're
me.
smarter than that. I don't know why.
Nobody does that.
well.
You go ranted on your own. You just scream and you fucking holler and you just go nuts.
you
I don't
see
say
it?
jizz.
Try
rag,
not to
you
say.
know? I keep it pretty.
Yeah, no one says
I don't-
jerk off
I
or
don't say
jizz
that.
rag
Hey,
or cum rag.
I
And you
use
said
it
the C word
selectively.
like 3 times 2 weeks ago.
Oh, all right, Mom. If I could. No, I didn't.
You
Who?
said malignant bunt like 3
Well,
times.
who was I talking about?
I don't know, but you said it.
Whoever it was, they deserved it. I don't know who it was, but I don't say that lightly.
There are a few of them out there.
Oh man.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to pick up.
But
this
yeah, no,
game.
Mario
Yeah,
was
really have
was
to.
a really
Yeah.
good time.
Can't
You
miss
know, I was blessed with 2 really good video games for my
Yes.
birthday this year.
It's been a good month.
But Chris is right. It'll never go on sale. It will be $60 or $80.
So we're going to be talking
the rest
about it
of the
probably
time.
more later because there was a new trailer. But
Yeah.
lately, I've been playing the Metal Gear Volume 1 that they came out with.
Snake.
I was getting frustrated with the first game because of the controls, and I was forgetting about key
Hold on.
cards.
Hard pivot. It's a hard
No,
pivot.
it's still on gaming.
Okay.
Let's finish the
Gaming,
gaming
it's
conversation.
gaming. But
Pivot.
Metal
I,
Gear.
I struggled with the first one, so I watched a playthrough.
That's what I do sometimes
It was
now,
about
man.
six,
Just
it was
watch
about
it.
6.5 hour playthrough of the,
Wow.
of the
Not
original
the
game.
same, Rob.
No, yeah. What?
You got to play
and,
the Psycho Mantis boss battle, Rob, and
No,
the
I
Raven,
saw what it is.
and the Sniper
I
Wolf.
saw what it is.
Come on.
They make you change the input. they make you
No,
change
that's the old one. The new
controller.
one is
Doesn't-
different. You got to
doesn't-
try it. You got to play it. When you finish 2 and 3, go back to 1. Give it a real shot.
That's what I'm gonna do because I wanted to play 1 too, but I
Well, you
I
can
just
even
don't want.
fake load games onto a memory card if you want them to say shit like of games that you played before. So that is an option.
I see you like
bro.
Barbie's Horse Adventures.
No.
Hey, that was a good game, man. It was Sega Genesis. September 3rd, 1998, Metal Gear Solid. Just want to point that out.
Wow.
I remember
Metal Gear
that.
Solid 1.
Metal Gear Solid. Well, because they had the Nintendo
I'll
ones.
say
but-
it's going to be a really hard time to beat 1998 because in 1998 you had Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil 2, and Ocarina of Time.
And
Top
Final
that.
Fantasy 7, I think 98
Top
or
that.
7, 97, 98.
Top that. You can't top that.
I'm sure there's something.
Gran Turismo. You had Gran Turismo, I think, original. You had Resident Evil. Wait, what?
Resident Evil 2.
2?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the
Best one. Best Resident Evil.
Metal Gear.
But
Keep
Metal
talking about
Gear.
Metal Gear.
Lukovic.
What's Rob? What's
So-
drawing you into Metal Gear? Why is it so good? Why do you enjoy this right now?
Well, I was really starving for another game because I was on the
Starving.
I was on like a good kick with.
I was
video-
really starving after I totally fucking savagely
but-
devoured
but-
Spider-Man and Mario.
Well, listen, I hadn't played games for a while. I had dropped off video games for a while. I was just like going to bed.
Now it's a
watching movies and
smorgasbord.
stuff
When?
For a while before all
A
these
while.
games
What?
came
Before
out.
Starfield was before this, and you fucking New Game Plus
played
that
that
3
fast,
times.
and then I-
died.
And then I hadn't
No,
touched it.
It's
for a
actually
They
while.
got a very
I hadn't touched
active.
any
They actually
video
was an
games.
article how active the gaming the
Stop
community is for
talking
that
over
game.
each other. Fuck.
So I wanted another game series. I had talked about playing Metal Gear for a long time. You guys have always talked about it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They came out with that kind of like facelift that they gave all the first 3 games.
Yeah.
On
On the 360.
I kind of wanted to give them a shot. I enjoyed the story of the first one. I can see why people enjoy this game series.
Catch us up. Where are you at
I
in the game right
I
now?
got
What
into
do you
the
want?
second game now. I mean, kind of giving out spoilers here, but for a fucking game that came out like 20 plus years ago. But I'm at the point where
Just can't.
they kill the sister of the scientist dude, and EE's dead. And then it kind of switches. I guess I don't know if it switches back to Snake or if you're still playing as Raiden. When you find out that Snake and Olga Golukovic are in league with each other now. But I'm enjoying the game. I haven't finished it yet. And then I guess I'll play Snake Eater. I was on the fence about playing Snake Eater or just waiting for one of the announcements we wanted to make on the show.
Can I tell them
today
the
about
advice I gave you?
Yeah.
So Rob asked, I don't know if I should play Snake Eater because they're making Metal Gear Solid Delta, and I don't know if it's play Snake Eater now. That way, when the remaster comes out in a year or two, whatever it is, you'll be able to appreciate how much more improved it is. And the story's so good, you're gonna want to replay it because it's a lot to remember. I've replayed Snake Eater's story about like fucking 9 times in my life now at this point. As Stephen Bias is here now.
Yes.
Gave you a shout out earlier.
Steve Areno.
He said Snake Eater is biblical, and it is.
Yes, it is.
It's the one I didn't.
It is it's in many fans' opinion the best Metal Gear.
Yes.
And then also Phil Dunphy is here, and he says, "I'm drunk and on the subway platform, but I'm still here."
Hot.
Eat the snake.
Phil, what'd you drink? What? 2 beers?
Yeah, what's he-
3 beers?
Guinness.
We are also imbibing in the
I need the
sangria,
picture. Actually,
so-
I was gonna say I need a break.
What did
so
you
I can
call
get
this
a picture.
earlier? The body of Christ?
Well, it's the sacrament. It's my sacrament.
The body of Chris.
It's Jackie Sangria is sangria. Take this for it is my blood.
Was Snake Eater a PS3 or PS2 late PS2 game?
It was a maxed out PS2 game.
Oh, it was the
at
very end of the cycle?
Yes.
That's why I didn't
And
get
then
it. I
They
was
pushed the PlayStation 2 to its brink.
gotcha.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. That and San Andreas, I would say, were the 2 most technological,
Such a huge
advanced
game.
PlayStation 2 games.
So Metal Gear Solid 2, you're really enjoying it, as I knew you would. You could see where I was getting at. It's
So I
very
guess I'll play Snake
anime-like.
Eater and then I'll play the remaster. But
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Snake Eater's coming, but enjoy Metal Gear Solid 2. There's so much more that you could do in it too. After there's time trial things, which I find very fun. I was showing you the time trials the other night.
I haven't found out any more information, but that Colonel is a dick. I just know he's going to be like a problem later.
Which Colonel? What are you talking about?
Colonel dude.
Oh, Raiden.
He's always
Remember
hiding
the
shit
objective.
And,
You must save the president.
and you know
Fucking
what?
Raiden.
Fuck Rose.
Everybody's pissed
Rose,
about that.
Fuck Rose.
Jack,
Every time I want to save, it's like, oh, girlfriend bullshit.
do
It's
you
like,
remember the time
I'm in the
came
middle
over,
of a
Jack?
terrorist fucking like attack on New York City, and I have time to listen to your fucking bullshit. Oh,
But you learn things about the character.
I don't give a fuck.
You
Oh,
will
so
though. No,
she's
it gets
giving
better.
him shit about how and she drags us out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she really dragged it out.
It's
It's like,
long.
and then I barged my way into your room, and there was nothing there, and you didn't have anything on the
That's
walls.
creepy,
and you
though.
Just had a bed.
The guy was fucking sleeping in a room with just a bed and nothing in it. I would ask questions too.
Yeah, but would you ask him while he's trying to defuse a fucking terrorist?
No. Yeah.
Would you
when
wait
you're
till
defusing
that
Fat
moment
Man's bombs or
to be
whatever?
like, I'm going to give you shit. So if you accidentally get blown up by a bomb in 5 minutes, at least I aired my grievances.
I don't know what.
See, this is why I like it when someone new experiences it, because
Yeah.
he takes it in a completely different direction,
True.
and he's experiencing it, and he's
Fresh,
and it's like, what the fuck is this shit? I love it. Like,
She's the
Believe me, that's what we
she's
thought
Skylar.
back in fucking whatever it was, 2001. Because I remember playing 2. Like
one
This
day,
is-
Chris will
those
watch
games
Donnie
are
Brasco,
way-
you know?
we were way. That was one of the first games.
No,
that,
the first one's great because
no, the
he's
first
just-
game's the best.
He's just fucking
it's
like
him.
hitting on every woman that he fucking sees.
It's
Like,
him.
every-
It's Snake.
Oh, it's got a pussy and a pulse. I'm gonna fucking. That's him.
The
That's
second,
Snake.
the second one is like, oh, I can't wait to be Snake, and this is like every fucking game is doing this. Joe's complained about this before. Every sequel is like, here's the sidekick other guy. You bought the game for this. It's called that.
Atreus, boy.
Yeah,
Fuck that kid. Fuck that kid. It was a fucking almost a year now. Fuck that kid. He ruined that fucking game, which is an amazing fucking game. Real quick, I want to talk about Metal Gear Solid 2 while we're on that topic. It was originally demoed on the PlayStation Magazine. If you had a subscription, you got the disc, you got the demo.
You know, I
and
probably
there was-
have that over there.
The demo was the
I have
tank
all those
level
discs.
as Snake, and the hype level for Metal Gear 2 just went through the roof.
Right.
And then when you finally get the fucking game, you're getting fucking Luigi, and you're getting fucking Atreus, and you're not fucking Solid Snake the entire game. And that's what ruined Metal Gear Solid 2 for me, because I did not like playing as Raiden at all. As good as the game is, that's what brought me back into Snake Eater. So I'm really excited for you to finally finish this game, which is probably... I think it's the second to worst game in the series. Metal Gear 4 is the worst.
Hold on.
It's nothing but a fucking movie.
Raiden is just blonde Snake.
I'm ready. Hold on.
First
First of all,
Oh, no.
Raiden doesn't ruin the game for me.
Oh, God.
You're playing hold on. Here's why I'm gonna just totally fucking castrate you right now. Okay, because first of all, Raiden, you're playing alongside Snake, so you still get Snake. He's in the fucking thing still, and you're talking to him. So it's just
Talking to him?
You're getting third person Snake instead of
No
first person
way.
Snake, but you're still getting fucking Snake.
What's the game called? It's called. Well, it's this
Metal
one.
Gear. Metal Gear Solid 2.
You're getting
Here's my
you're
other
getting
point. No, hold
40
on.
Wait, hold on.
Who's solid? Who is solid?
Hold on.
Who's solid?
That's not even the main fucking thing, though. There is a whole other part of the game called Snake Tales where you get to play as Snake. When all the other shit's going on in the background with Raiden, you get to play as Snake what he's doing. So you get to play as Snake. It's a whole fucking hours long of
That
worth
was
of
not
material.
in the original game.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's in this one.
What? Doesn't matter.
Wasn't in the original
I don't
game.
know if it wasn't. It was in Subsistence or whatever, which came out a year or
It
two
was
later.
not in the original game. They put it in the original game because of the amount of people who complained that there wasn't enough Snake missions in the game. So yes, you do
listen.
play as Snake in the game. Yes, you do get to talk to Snake in the game, but he's less than 50% of the game.
And you get to do the whole
When
tanker.
they promote,
of
and
Come
when, I'm just
on,
saying, when
man.
they promote the game,
Come on, man. That
When
was
they're
a fucking
promoting-
swerve. That
Right.
was like Halo 2 comes out, and now you're the Arbiter.
Arbiter.
And I can just go invisible for half the fucking stages and
I'm
not
the
even fight
Arbiter.
anything.
I
Fuck
don't want to
that
be. I
shit.
want to be Master Chief the whole fucking time.
It's a trend with these sequel games. These
Yep.
jerk off fucking jerk rag.
Spider-Man does
These
it.
jerk
Hey,
rag games.
Metal Gear Solid 2 isn't a jerk off game.
It's a jerk-off
no,
game.
it's hey.
Listen,
it is not an
2020
annually released game. That's bullshit.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is the reason you bought a PlayStation 2. It was the game you put your money down to buy a PlayStation 2 for, so you can play the next
And
game.
it's a good
as
fucking
Snake!
It's a good
And
game.
then you got Raiden?
Yeah.
No, trash.
Raiden was
Trash.
I have no
Sword,
problem
too.
with Raiden.
He's got a fucking sword. He could just slice everybody. You don't have to sneak.
Badass.
You don't have to knock. You don't have to go in fucking lockers and fucking boxes. Fuck
What are you
that
talking
shit.
about? You do all that shit
That's
with
the
them.
second to worst fucking Metal Gear game of
You
all
don't
time.
even get the
You're
sword
talking
until
to
the end of the
somebody
game.
who
Take
is
it easy.
fucking goddamn Metal Gear as his gamer tag for
Doesn't
over
matter.
20 years. You piece of shit.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is the first one that I really played. It was my introduction to the.
What were you, 4 years old?
I was what 2000? The year 2000. I was
98.
9, 10, 11, 12.
You
I don't
don't
fucking
remember
know.
that.
Yeah, fucking
You
when I
can't
was in
remember
fifth
what
grade.
you did yesterday at Taco Bell.
I remember
But
Metal
you
Gear
Get
Solid 2.
outta
We're
here.
talking about it. I'm playing it again for the 10th time.
What's Finn doing?
I
Is
love
he
that
getting more
fuck. He's
drink?
getting the sangria.
He's getting the sangria.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the best video games of all time.
No.
And one of my favorite video games. And one of the best Metal Gears.
No.
Bullshit.
No.
And you get to play as Snake for 1/3 of the fucking game, and for the other 2/3, he's a fucking third-person character.
I'm enjoying too.
He's loving it.
On
It's a good game. And then you get Snake back and Snake Eater.
He's loving it because he didn't play Metal Gear Solid. He didn't fucking stick around and play the game.
I sat and watched the whole
That's
game.
not the
from beginning to
same,
end.
you
Yes, it
motherfucker.
is.
You need to play it, you lazy piece of
But
shit.
you're acting like Snake
I didn't
died.
like the conclusion.
It was the fucking graphics. It looked like
The
shit.
graphics is
It's like trying to
terrible.
play fucking Tomb Raider
It's
1. Like, get the
terrible.
fuck out of here. I ain't doing that shit.
Oh my god.
It looked worse than fucking GoldenEye.
You
kidding me?
whiny little
Steve,
bitch.
hold on. Stephen Bias said Austin shaking McMahon's hand, Metal Gear Solid 2 swerve.
Exactly. Thank you, Steve. That's why you're my friend, Steve. You see what you do to me?
Austin heel turn.
Anyway, I digress. Rob, I'm glad you're enjoying Metal Gear.
Wait. More comment action here. Because somebody had a good question here. So Phil asked, is it a good idea for Konami to do a new Metal Gear without Kojima?
I kicked the camera, guys.
They have, I think. And
No,
it was,
they have not.
They did a write-in game.
No,
That was not-
That's not a Metal Gear game.
It was named Metal Gear.
It's a side fucking jerk off. Fucking
It was a bold.
rag
That
game.
was a jerk off rag game. I'll give you that.
The bargain bin fucking $3 fucking game at GameStop. Nobody bought that. Nobody liked that. Fuck that game. It sucks.
And
they
Stephen
should
Bias
not.
says no, they shouldn't. I don't see why they would need to fucking do that. Because I mean, like, why couldn't you just bring Kojima in? Just bring him back. I don't know why they got rid of him. Maybe because
They don't get
he's
rid
older.
of people. People get bored making the same shit over and over again.
I don't
That's what
think. I
happens.
don't think it was him.
Everybody
he was
does
pushed.
that.
He was pushed out of Kojima.
All right, let's keep this energy flowing. Let's keep the
Konami.
fucking juices fucking flowing. Then I know you got a lot that you want to kind of go over. So since we're on the video game topic, let's kick off with your impressions of Spider-Man 2. You missed last week. You missed Rob talking about that. So we're going to go over where you were last week. But before you tell us where you were last week, it's kind of given away on your shirt. Talk about your experience with Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5.
Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. I'll lead with the rating. And this actually
You beat the game.
beat the game, beat the story. Gonna platinum it with 2 more trophies.
Okay.
Very, very basic platinum. Nothing impressive about
Very
it.
easy. Very
Nothing
easy.
impressive. You can't, it shouldn't even be called a platinum. But whatever, Insomniac has a habit of making them real easy.
Okay.
The game's an 8. It's a solid 8. Very solid 8. Strong 8. The 2 points come from the story lacking, in my opinion. The length of the game I have a problem with because there's a lot going on in this game and they don't expand on it enough. It doesn't feel like a sequel in the way that a sequel should be more of what you did and better. Like everything about it should be more and better. More activities, more story arc, just a longer narrative. To wait 5 years, because I'm pretty sure Spider-Man was a 2018.
Yep.
To wait 5 years to know we're getting the symbiote, they held it back. We knew we were getting
On a
Venom.
next-gen console.
Next-gen console. The game is truly next-gen in the sense that all right, so to fix what I said when I first started playing, when we did the show, and I played for like 2 hours.
Right.
I didn't have the proper settings on. When you put this game on 120 hertz, you go either fidelity or performance with the 120. The game is beautiful. It's just like stunningly fast, smooth. The animations, the actions of the game are fluid. There's no hiccuping, no frame rate drop. You do not see this game skip a beat. At any given moment, you can hit start, go photo mode, and there's something picturesque, beautiful, straight out of a comic book. It's like, holy shit.
Chris is shaking his head.
He shake his head all he wants. Starfield player counts down to 18,000. Lost 95% of players from the peak. That's just the stats.
I read something entirely different.
Just
Alternative
the stats.
facts.
All the facts.
Ring the bell.
It's
So-
lifeless.
So anyway,
Go on.
in Spider-Man, the problem I have, and to give Chris his credit, I would not call this game open world and give the expectation of the sandbox. I think when we think open world, we think sandbox, something you can play in, you can poke and prod and find the edges. You can't do that. This game's on rails with an open environment to swing and enjoy. And there's nothing more enjoyable if you like Spider-Man than swinging through the city and using the fucking suit. The traversal, I don't use fast travel. Never. I did not use fast travel once because of just how fun and enjoyable it is to be Spider-Man. The
And relatively quickly, you could get.
Oh,
from
you're
one side,
you're getting it everywhere
especially
you want.
with the flying.
If again, this game, it nails feeling like Spider-Man. The combat, just like Arkham Asylum, nailed feeling like Batman.
Yes.
This is the equivalent. It's definitely an easy match. But the fucking story is just not there. The first one hit. I remember the first story being like, wow, this is impressive. They used the same origins, but they put their own twist on certain things, and they really used the full breadth of Spider-Man's, villains. This, you know what you're getting. We saw that they even threw Kraven in the trailer last year. It's like, oh, they added another villain like on top of Venom. That's interesting. But then they didn't make the game have enough quality narrative for it all to really have consequence and draw you in. There wasn't enough time to draw you into Kraven and make the Peter's need to, use the symbiote even more extreme than it should have been. Or let's say, I would say Peter chose the symbiote in the comics, and then the animation, he wanted to use it because it made him more powerful. In this, they make it like he has to use it due to something that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more forced on him.
Right.
So it's like they just don't ratchet up that conflict with them, where you really think him and Kraven would be, Mary Jane, anybody's life at stake. That the things that usually draw in the superhero to break their rules, they didn't do that. They didn't put Mary Jane's life at risk and make Peter go to the extreme.
There's no major
emotionally.
threat.
Yeah, and it just, absolutely. It does not hit that note. And even with the birth of Venom and people understanding what the symbiote actually was, it's kind of quick. It's kind of it's a little too fast.
You were saying earlier before we started the show that the little segments that you play as Mary Jane is she's
OP.
OP.
It's it's one of those things that you can. I understand where you got to break down the story a little bit, but I didn't buy the Mary Jane video game. I bought Spider-Man, and I'm always talking about these alternate characters and them kind of just forcing it on you because you're gonna buy Spider-Man and you're gonna want to fucking play it, and they're like, well, we know you're gonna want to do it, so here's a little extra, something for you, and it's just like. But why? If it was in a way that was consequential or made, the stakes higher, fine. I don't mind being the character. It's not like, I didn't want to be a girl. It's just the fact that it's just kind of pointless, and she's so overpowered that you're like, okay, boop, 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 fly through the... I need to get through this so I could get back to being fucking Spider-Man.
Right.
So I don't understand this obsession. Even the director of the game came out and basically said, yeah, we heard the feedback about the Mary Jane missions from the first game, and fuck you. We're doing it anyway. That was pretty much quote unquote. And I'm like, well, that's nice when you have the fucking Spider-Man license, but game developers who have to make a good game that you don't have that high-powered thing, now you're abusing having that. That's fucking bullshit. I don't want that. We gave you the feedback. We didn't like it. Make it better and we'll like it. It just, you make it so inconsequential and way too OP that, it just, why the fuck? So that's what takes, not just the Mary Jane shit, but the story alone takes those 2 points away. It's not a technical thing. It's not it has nothing to do with the visuals, the gameplay. The gameplay is great. It's just feeling like Spider-Man. You're overpowered. You can fucking do 100 different moves, take down 40 different guys. I would say some of the other part of the point deduction is with all of that overpoweredness, there needs to be a challenge. There needs to be, you could start this, if you played one, just start it on the hardest difficulty. Don't fucking play it on normal unless you want the movie experience.
What benefit does that give you if you play it on hard?
That's the other part. What is the benefit? There is none. You don't get a platinum because you beat it on the hardest difficulty, which was part of the first one.
Really?
If you want the challenge, it wasn't? I thought I had to race through that game twice.
No, the hardest part about it, you had to play it twice to get all the trees, I think, and stuff. When you did New Game
It didn't
Plus.
have anything to do with I could have sworn the difficulty was beat it on Ultimate or whatever.
No.
But it's not part of it. So again, the lack of challenge. You could fucking, to Chris's point, you could kind of just flow your way through this game. I get into it. I like feeling like the superhero. I like the overpoweredness and the dodge, like his ability to just be snappy and dodge those fucking, do the twist and hit him with the fucking web, and I'll pause it and I'll take that screenshot like down the barrel of the guy getting hit with the web and Spider-Man. I love that shit. That's totally for me.
Chris's
You can
headset
shake
has
your
got
fucking
steam
head all you
coming out of
fucking
it.
want.
No,
Give a
no,
shit.
Look,
making
here's the
gestures.
thing. I'm not. First of all, I have said the least out of any of you fucking cocksuckers. So don't make the fucking lip
Here we
ball
go.
up right now, you cocksuckers.
Ring the bell.
All I'm saying is, I think Am
I wrong about the game? Am I making an assessment?
Where I disagree only is that I do have a problem with the visuals. I don't think it's a totally stunning game. The NPCs are totally lifeless. There's no interaction whatsoever with them. They're just fucking.
It's again.
They're vanilla box. Just
it's on
nice.
Rails. It's definitely
It's on rails, but it's
not
just,
a sandbox.
they're lifeless
I get it.
NPCs. They
But
like.
they did that on purpose because I don't want people like you webbing up civilians.
I know they don't, but they can
Making
still. They
video.
don't look like fucking people. They look like like little shitty polygons
But
almost.
they talk. They have funny conversations and shit.
Well,
It
here's
just
the
it
trade-off.
feels so
I mean,
lifeless.
Go to
Again,
New York City.
we're going
How many
back-
people are just fucking speaking out loud their mind?
First of all, you go to
No,
New York
so-
City and there's fucking every corner has a fucking crackhead twitching out speaking his
You
mind.
want crackheads in your
I do want some. I want some grit and something
This
that makes it
isn't
feel like an
GTA.
actual city with some fucking rats in it. Not this fucking
Oh, here's homeless person
empty
number
fucking.
47.
Hey,
Get
dude,
the fuck
going
out
to
of here.
playing Spider-Man feels like I'm in fucking North Korea. Like it's like the fucking the polygons are out because I'm there, but once I'm gone, there's nothing. There's no life in that fucking world whatsoever.
I don't agree.
And also, when I used to go to the landmarks in like the old Spider-Man games, and like the PS2 or whatever, even beyond that. But when I would go to like the Empire State Building, I was like, wow, I'm at the Empire State Building, like this view, like it felt like something. Now when I go there, it's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm there. It's cool. There was nothing significant for me
Well,
about
what-
going
I
to
will
any
say
landmark in that game.
What made me
Maybe
very
that's me.
angry is that they didn't have the Chrysler Building in the game.
Didn't have to
Because
Chrysler
they wanted
Building.
too much money for the Chrysler Building.
Talked about that
and
last week.
they didn't name it Greenpoint. Those are like the two big things. And I will agree with Vin. The story may have been lacking a little bit.
It's fucking 20 fucking hours. I was like,
especially with Craven specifically, like they talk about his family a lot in the story and shit.
I haven't
And
gotten
then you
that
just-
far.
and then it's like a fucking phone call basically that you find out like all his family's dead. Oh,
Right.
okay, they're not coming.
We got a lot of comments going on right now. I just want to kind of kick one over that's actually going to segue into what we're talking about right now. So Stephen Baez says, so I'm in agreement here, and I think it was a fair sequel, but my question for the panel, that's all of us, does Wolverine game have to be M-rated? Does Sony and Insomniac have the stones to do it?
It definitely has to be. It has to be R-rated.
How could you have a Wolverine game with no blood?
You have to have an R-rated.
Wolverine.
Yeah, you're gonna cut
or-
people with your fucking what is it, adamantium fucking blades.
the crackheads in
but
the subway.
It doesn't. They
You
don't
don't wanna
bleed.
do that?
It instantly cauterizes them. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna
This
shoot
isn't a
lasers
fucking
that cauterize
80s
their
Hitman
wounds.
cartoon. He's got to fucking like cut people. He has to
Oh, yeah.
eviscerate people.
You just
Like,
fucking you cut their leg off, but it stays attached. That's what it's gonna fucking
No,
be.
it's
I don't.
not.
I don't. I don't
Wolverine
think they have the stones.
is not Spider-Man. And I hope they.
He's foul mouthed too. He's not quick witted like Spider-Man, but he's vulgar. He's not.
That's a great question, Steven, because, my concern, I get really
Tornado claw.
concerned, like, playing Spider-Man 2 and, like, loving Spider-Man 1, enjoying 2, but not being, like, fully blown away, like, whoa.
They should follow the
That's a
formula
problem.
that they did with Wolverine.
That's not
Revenge
good.
on PS2.
And I'm not, that's why I say 8. Again, it's a strong game, but it did not have the extra wow. It's not a bad game.
You rated Starfield higher.
Well, it's
than an 8.
Yeah, Starfield. Starfield to me, again, my expectation for Spider-Man very high, and it just did not hit it. It just did not hit it. It does not.
For Vin to say that
Expand-
though, that's big.
Yeah, it does not expand on what they did in the first one. It really does not.
Shows
in
that he's not
any
biased.
fucking way. I'm never a fucking biased.
Not biased.
So I would recommend everybody get it. Play. You got a PS5. You got to play it. It's fucking awesome.
You're not
have,
missing anything.
if
Don't
you
play
have
it.
if you have
Save your money.
If you have an OLED TV, which Chris doesn't, this is a.
I have the same TV that you guys recommend. I have the
Oh, you bought the
LG.
LG
I've had that
All
for
right,
like fucking months now.
All right, sorry.
And
Months,
I fucking
though.
playing on 120 hertz and all that shit.
All right,
It's a
good.
pretty good game, But if I didn't get it, I would never miss it. And like I said last week, it's people aren't going to be playing it
Again, if you like Spider-Man, I think it's a game that's worth playing. If
I
you
do
were
like
fucking 12
Spider-Man.
years old, you'd be like, wow, we're fucking 40
Chris is
basically.
just mad
And we
because
have
Green
the
Goblin's
critical,
not in it.
yeah, we have the hypercritical
Maybe-
lens on.
They're
and the
building
microscope.
him. He wasn't in. I mean, they have Norman, but he's not the Goblin.
Let
yet,
me
right?
ask
Oh,
you
the
this: If
third
the
game,
Green
man.
Goblin is the main villain of the next Spider-Man game, would you?
Didn't
get
they
it?
have a DLC where he was the villain or something?
No, not.
Oh,
They
yeah.
never had him as the
We haven't
villain.
had him yet.
He's not.
They-
He's not the Green Goblin.
I
yet.
said on last week too. I think one of the best things about the story in Spider-Man is the guy who's playing the Green Goblin. I think that he's a good Norman Osborn.
It's fantastic.
He's
Norman
fantastic.
Honey.
Director of the game called this their Civil War
Yeah.
in comparison to the Marvel movie, and I was like, "This is no, it's not." Not
Speaking
even
of
close.
Marvel, let's segue into the other thing you wanted to talk about this week. On Disney Plus, we have season 2 of Loki.
Well, Marvel sucks now. Everything Marvel just sucks. Apparently, they just can't get anything right. They can't get out
Wow.
of their own way.
Year
No,
2
that's-
is different from year 1 in the Break Room podcast.
No, that's just the general feeling of things. They still got, they have the characters, they have the stories. It can always be done
Again?
but they've just been no, not the same ones. Those were fucking. Who expected Iron Man to be that good or Captain America to hit that big? Like, I don't think.
Captain America is a mainstay for Marvel for years.
But I'm just saying he
He's
hit
an originally Marvel
huge.
character.
He's not like the huge. He's
From
not
Timely Comics.
the Hulk, Spider-Man, Wolverine, X. Those were like the big, Marvel characters. I feel like with Cap, Iron Man, even Thor, they were like,
Don't say Thor in front of Rob.
I'm just saying they were not the forefront of Marvel.
Not
at
the
time.
flagship.
Not at that
heroes.
time.
Okay.
Definitely not. You wouldn't
In
go
the
to
60s, maybe.
you wouldn't go to Islands of Adventure and see those characters. You would really see, the ones that I mentioned.
Spider-Man.
That's what held Marvel up. So anyway, they'll always have that stable of characters, an incredible stable of stories, but too much volume, not enough. It's not even like not enough money. They've broken down basically all of the mistakes that they had made very publicly too, and now with the whole Vanity, Variety article that's basically like Marvel's dead. They're basically on the verge of. I'm like, that's.
Are they
that's
forgetting there's the
extreme.
Fantastic Four and the X-Men, which we haven't even seen yet?
That's what everybody's saying. And
Two
it's
big
just
aces.
based on the
But
track.
will the fandom
based on the
accept
track,
it?
and based on the current track record, not great. I would push back. Guardians 3 was fantastic. Black Panther was good. I loved fucking No Way Home.
I really liked
I like Doctor Strange.
what's the name of the guy with the
Not a lot of
rings?
people love
Fucking Shang.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was fucking
Shang-Chi
a
was
lot of fun.
surprisingly really good.
But we're coming off the high of Thanos and the whole build-up of the, that initial golden age.
You're
So,
playing as Atreus in these movies.
yeah, there you go.
They
That's
missed
a really
couple
good,
of times because they had like the Eternals was kind of a big.
Eternals was a mess. She-Hulk, bunch of shows that you don't
Wasn't
like
She-Hulk
or
pretty
watch.
popular?
I like She-Hulk.
It's
A
not
lot
that
of
they're
people
not
like it.
popular.
The
Is that,
Secret
are they
Wars show
are
was
they
a
good?
Fucking terrible.
I didn't watch
It's a
Miss
mess.
Marvel. I didn't even bother finishing Secret War.
Horrible.
There's
So-
also the Nick Fury
Hidden
stuff.
Invasion, I mean,
That's Secret
yeah,
Wars.
Hidden Invasion.
Terrible.
So Disney tried to
Secret
abuse,
Invasion.
basically like everybody else right now. They tried to abuse the license of what they had and fucking just overdid it. And now everybody thinks they suck.
I want that because
Yes.
no, but I want
gotta.
that because I want DC to have. They're never both hot at the same time. It's
Right.
always one has its fucking time, and I would like for DC to be on the upswing right now, just because it's been
Flash
so.
was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I've always been a DC guy. I've always liked DC over Marvel because Batman's my favorite.
Spider-Man's my favorite, but I'm done with Spider-Man. I'm kind of like worn out.
Yeah, a lot of volume.
Seen Uncle Ben die. I don't know how many fucking times. I'm over it.
But to your earlier point there, yeah, Loki season 2 is out, and it has been really good. It's a lot of fun.
How many episodes?
It's going to be 6. The 5th is already just came out yesterday.
Fuck them, cocksuckers. Why? Why is 6 episodes becoming the fucking standard? No,
'Cause it's
no.
$250 million fucking
Care.
budget.
I don't care. It's always
Yeah.
expensive. 6 fucking episode seasons. It sucks.
Game of
What do you
Game
you
of-
fucking
Game of
tease
Thrones
us?
is fall. I'm
And
blaming
then they're
Game
gonna
of
skip
Thrones.
one episode
Chris,
probably.
Game of
I'm
Thrones.
going to throw some gas on there. 6 episodes, but let's raise the price of Disney Plus.
Yeah, raise the
raise the
price of
price.
Disney Plus.
Every
Fucking
streaming
6
service.
episodes. Each episode's 45 minutes probably. Fuck you.
Just about.
I want a fucking 10 to 12 episode season, hour-long episodes. Fuck you.
Not the
Yeah,
Sopranos.
how about this? How about for the $200 million, you just don't pack in visual effects thinking that's what's getting your audience. That's not what's doing it.
Story, acting,
Right.
fleshing
Iron
out
Man,
characters.
if you broke out all the scenes in Iron Man 1 in all the visuals,
It's like in a desert.
there's probably like, 5 to 10 of them, and they feature the suit. That's like the big thing. The suit, and how good it looked and real it looked. And, you basically were like, is that real? It looks kind of real. But it's driven by Robert Downey Jr. It's, the dude. It's just driven by that story that they're telling there. It was on point because like the war on terror and his whole involvement in the Middle East, it was just like on par with
Another
what was
Caucasian,
happening.
Jackie.
Yeah, listen. There you go, dude.
well, but
They got to get back to that. They really do.
They do, but that's the problem is with all these, multi-hero movies that I didn't even see all of them because there's so many.
Tell
They
me,
have
expert.
such a
Tell me,
large
expert.
cast, and it became such a Goliath that and all these portals opening up and multi-dimensional.
Yeah, that's
and
what
now
took me
it's
out of it.
become so like a fucking acid
Well, the problem
trip
is that
that
they're
they have to do that.
They're
But that was
following
the only
same
time-
formula that the comics did, where each guy had their own comic story, and they do a big crossover event where all the comic characters came together.
He's talking about the
But now-
multiverse shit
But
where
I'm
it's
just
kind of
saying
getting
that now everybody expects every movie to have every one of these characters because we got teased with it with the Avengers game and all that shit. Everybody's under the same roof. Now they're trying to go back to the original formula of this guy gets this movie, that guy gets that.
More
And just
characters,
wondering,
though. I just want
who
to
the
finish
fuck
that
is
point.
this? Why is this important? What's
More
going on with
characters
this?
means more explosions,
And then
more
they're
laser
making-
beams,
and
more
then they're bringing
portals.
characters in, and it's like, the story fucking sucks. Like I don't give a shit about any of this stuff, And then the people that really got into the whole Marvel thing because of these movies, it's done a complete 180 with a lot of the characters and shit, and people are salty about it because it's like I only became a fan of this because of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I didn't give a shit about comics before.
The one thing about getting high, for the rest of the time you're getting high, you're chasing the first high. It's very difficult. You can't ever replicate it. It was all of the circumstances that the first era of Marvel and the Marvel MCU is like the perfect storm of circumstances, and they actually delivered on what your expectation was going to be for the ending.
Right.
It actually delivered. You left and you were like,
They actually did
Whoa.
worse. They exceeded our expectations.
They did.
So
For
then
themselves,
we expected to exceed the expectations
to continue every time. Yes.
To that
You-
point,
you-
comment here, Stephen Bias, just because it's a perfect segue. He said not having the X-Men ready at the end of Endgame was an absolute screw-up. You can't give the biggest film ever and then say, here's the Eternals. Which is a good point.
they're
Imagine if they
restricted.
transitioned right that, but it's
It's not their fault. They
It's
had
not
to
their fault.
complete the acquisition of
20th
Fox.
Century Fox.
You can't just. They didn't even know that it was definitively going to happen. So then they weren't necessarily planning for it to happen.
Right.
And then when it happened, it was like, we got to fucking announce Fantastic Four. And now they're coming out saying, we shouldn't have announced it as fast because we really didn't have the director, the cast, anything set. We just had a logo. And we thought, that'll get more Disney Plus subscribers. And that's what they pitched everybody on. This whole Marvel fuck-up is also in sequence with the Disney Plus fuck-up. Because they thought streaming was the next generation of revenue and shit. And now they just found out, well, actually, there's too many services. Everybody's spread all over hell. Not everyone can consume everything. And because we're trying to do too much all at once, also not having directors and writers lead the shows. They have executives leading the shows because they're on deadlines. They're not on actual artistic, let's make a good show and a good movie. It's like,
Not artistic
let's get this out.
goalposts.
We got to pump this out now. Get it out. And you're working there and you're just like, I got to work 24-hour days. All these visual effects artists fucking joined this union because
Sweat.
they were just getting
Similar to the
killed.
shit with Cyberpunk.
Everybody. It's corporations squeezing every little bit out of everybody.
Yeah, but if
at
you
any
play
given
the,
point.
if you develop the game and you just group shop everything, you should be fine.
Yeah, it's no problem. You fucking throw a group shot, throw 12 people at one person. It's going to be the same experience as if it was one-on-one, just like
It's
everything
the
else.
Cyberpunk experience.
Yeah,
It's
please
a
hold.
corporation
The call
switches up
volumes
now
are
when it's
exceeding
not
what they
ready.
normally fucking do. Well, guess what? If they're normally exceeding, the new normal is exceeding, and this is fucked. Anyway. So, yeah, I hope it
rid
gets
of On
better.
Point.
I hope it gets better. I want to see Marvel succeed. I want to see DC succeed. I want to see a great Batman.
I
want to
see that too, but it's
Superman.
It's the cycle, dude. If DC is going to succeed, it means Marvel has to start taking a back seat.
And then
for whatever reason, it's the law of the universe. I don't call the shots. It's just
side question for anyone who wants to answer this. When do you think we'll see the first James Gunn DC movie, and what movie will it be?
I already know that answer.
What's the answer?
I know the fact.
Peacemaker.
It's Superman.
Well,
Superman Legacy, I believe.
Okay.
It's like a younger Superman, but it's not an origin story.
Have they chosen a new Superman yet?
Yeah, apparently that's
Really?
done, but not
We don't know
official and announced because then the writer's strike happened.
Oh.
So I think there's some stuff that's.
And it's called Superman Legacy. That's just a holding title.
I want to say that's the holding title, and that might be the comic that it's based kind of on. It's the one. It's the comic cover that I keep seeing that they're kind of showing, side by side. Like this is what James Gunn's talked about and kind of where he wants to go with Superman.
That's fucking interesting.
It's fucking interesting.
Can I ask
man.
a question? Can James Gunn make a good Superman movie if he can't, tell jokes about dick jokes and holy shitballs type of stuff? Like, can he? He's very reliant on that stuff.
In the Superman universe, I would say, I'm not a huge avid Superman reader or anything, but they usually reserve that stuff for the villains, whether it's like the kooky weird villain or the fucking, Mr. Plick Click Black Black Dick. There's always some weird shit in a Superman thing. It's not just as straightforward as.
I feel like there's not a lot of snarky or wittiness.
It's fucking Bizarro.
Well, don't forget, he's also got Jimmy Olsen.
What do you mean snarky? Lex Luthor is a fucking dick.
He's a prick.
He's a fucking prick.
Both versions. He was great in the fucking anime. That was another.
The animated series.
Come on, Gene Hackman.
We were crushing that. That was Batman, Superman, X-Men. Come on, how are you gonna Spider-Man? How are you gonna fucking ever?
I always thought Lex Luthor was kind of a bland villain.
Depends on how you play.
I like that he knew the weakness, so that was cool. But I feel like everything else about him was kind of.
If they do Lex, because you saw the Jesse
hold on, wait.
Eisenberg.
No, I didn't see that one. Wait, was that where he was like best?
And then it was like, who was it? Kevin Spacey.
What's the name of Kevin Spacey? Was him once. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Gene Hackman is my fucking.
That's a good one, and I think Chris would love it because Lex to me is almost like a.
I've seen that one. I watched it with my brother.
No, I'm saying Lex is like a Thrawn. He's like calculating. He's got the next 10. Mm-hmm. He knows what Superman's gonna do because how predictable he is and goody he is. He's like, cool. I'm gonna fucking trap Superman in this bullshit while I'm, dealing under the table. Lex is definitely that. If they get it right. Just seeing like shitty ones. I think they've not only the animated series.
I just
really
can't
good.
see Spider-Man painted with James Gunn's. I'm sorry, Superman painted with James Gunn's brand.
Brush.
And that's not to say that
It might
fuck
be,
James
it
Gunn.
might
I just
be
can't see it.
The kick in the ass that they need to switch up because a lot of the DC movies have been very dry and very dark and very, they lack any kind of personality or charm or charisma to them.
Every Guardians of the Galaxy movie had people crying. All 3 movies had.
Oh, you laugh, you cry. He hits everything.
Yeah, he's good. I think.
Oh, he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I can't imagine it, and I would hope that it exceeds expectations.
Yeah, Vin. Before we kick it over to Chris is going to kind of talk about wrestling news of the week. Tell us where you were last week, bud.
Man, I was at the true frozen tundra, Green Bay, Wisconsin, at Lambeau Field for the Green Bay Packers.
Go Pack, go!
Go Pack, go! I'm not a fair weather fan. I will cheer louder when they suck. And I was cheering pretty fucking loud because I was in the front row in the end zone.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, it just was a shit game, and it's been a shit season for us. I actually was next to the Lambeau Leap that Addison did. So he's a Viking. He's their new rookie, and he's probably going to be the next guy. And yeah, he did a Lambeau Leap fucking right next to me, right here. I was
disrespectful.
Yeah, it was disrespectful. I would say everyone in that crowd, the most respectful, nice people. Like,
wow.
Even Vikings fans were just like, I overheard a conversation.
You never see fights break out at Lambeau Field.
They're just not the kind of.
Hey man, no, Jets fans are the purest people on the planet.
They would admit that.
Salt of the earth.
I'm talking about Raiders fans and fucking
Green
49ers
Bay
fans and anybody in California that starts to fucking brawl in the fucking stands because their fucking other team is wearing the other team's fucking shirt.
No, not even.
Can we all unite?
Now we have fans of the same team fighting each other. I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah.
This is a new trend.
Is that the Bills?
They're all fighting each other. Fucking fucking everybody,
think it
bro.
was the
Philly.
Bills' big one.
Well,
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Baltimore.
We can all agree that Philadelphia fans, Philadelphia Eagles
Some of
fans
the
are
worst
probably the
people.
worst people in the world.
I just hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Whether they win or lose, they destroy their own city. It's
Yeah,
like
they're
ridiculous.
just fucking ready to.
But there is no more salt of the earth people than you're gonna get in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, baby.
It was fucking cold. I got to tell you, the legend is true. We were there late October, and it was a very brisk 30 whatever degrees, and it felt there's none of that ocean air that kind of makes it a little more humid. No, it's dry, fucking cold.
Dry cold.
We had to spend a little extra money in the pro shop. Went to the Hall of Fame. I got the Lombardis on film, some selfies with the Lombardis. Took the tour, went up to the skybox, took pictures, went down on the field, got to touch the field.
Wow.
It was just, for me, being a lifelong fan, it was a trip of a lifetime.
That's a great experience.
It really was. It was something else. Everybody out there was super kind, made it even more special, and I'll remember it forever. That was definitely one of those trips you'll just remember forever. Even with the loss, you got to go through the growing pains.
Yeah.
We've had, I think everybody, Green Bay fans aren't upset because we've had decades of success.
You've had a competitive, maybe Super Bowl-esque team
for 20 years almost.
For all of Favre and for all of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So it's easy to be complacent now. Now there's a lot of infighting. You're going to find out who the real fans are.
And then he comes to the Jets, and in 4 snaps, he's out for the season.
You don't want to see that. Everybody wants to see him, listen, even the tour guide at Lambeau said, I'm not going to say it's the reason, but he played here for 17 years, and that never happened. And this field is kept in a way that it's the best kept field in the NFL.
Turf.
But
turf.
ironically enough, sure as shit during that game, Kirk Cousins fucking tears his Achilles.
Damn.
I was like, it's the weirdest circumstance. I couldn't believe it happened because everyone made that argument. Like, oh, if Rodgers at Lambeau.
Yeah, I bet the Detroit Lions fans were just having a parade because now they're going to just
listen. They've sucked ass for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, but now they're going to walk away with that division.
They've ruined multiple Hall of Famer careers.
I thought you were going to say Thanksgiving because they play on every Thanksgiving and the games.
No,
suck.
they will ruin Thanksgiving because they're playing the Packers. They always play the Packers. It's their time. They built this team. They've acquired the draft picks. I know I'm on a football tear. Sorry, guys. You guys are into sports. But it is their time. They look built. They're built great. They're a division rival. Go fuck them. But Dan Campbell's an easy guy to get behind. He's a player's coach. He's got the energy and the juice that the guys can really buy into. They've acquired draft picks over the last fucking 2 decades. So, yeah, you better be able to put together a fucking team. You haven't paid anybody in 20 years. Fucking Calvin Johnson retired because you suck so hard, and he was just like, I'm just not going to do this to my body.
Barry Sanders.
Barry fucking retired. Like, come on now. They've never.
Ran off Matthew Stafford.
I don't even think they're going to be able to make it that deep into the playoffs. But
no.
they used to playing inside.
The league this year is just like, if you ask me to pick like a Super Bowl team, I'm usually pretty accurate, or at least I get one of them. I could. This year is fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles lost to the Jets. The 49ers lost to the Browns. There you go, Steve. I plugged it for you. I love you, buddy. He's a Browns. He's a Browns fan. He loves the Browns. Yeah.
Great
Got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Great fucking defense. Horrendous. But Deshaun Watson's a piece of shit.
There's no way I could pick a Super Bowl like this year. Like
The Dolphins.
the Chiefs lost. Like, are you kidding me?
The Chiefs lost to the Broncos.
The Broncos.
So, I mean, the Packers lost to the Broncos. And I was like, I kind of expected, like, it could go
The
either way.
Jets beat the Broncos. The Chiefs beat the Jets, but then the Chiefs lost to the Broncos. Huh?
What?
Huh?
I think, you know why? I was talking to somebody in Green Bay about this, and I think there's a reason behind this. The way that the league has designed the game, the fucking refs don't even know what to do. They don't even know what to do. There's no consistency in the calling. They given the fucking QB
Roughing the passer.
Bro, there should be a 800
Pass interference.
There should be a 750-yard game at this point, the way that they're letting the QB throw the ball, but then everything down the field is pass interference.
God.
So
that's what you should just do. Just throw it downfield every play. It's 50-50. He's going to
get the penalty and get the yardage anyway. So they've put the league in a position where no team can find true success because they're just calling these games so inconsistently.
I think they need to move hand checking back to the 10 yards instead of 5 yards.
5 is fucking soft.
So what are you going to do in 5? He's already way past you.
Soft.
You didn't even
and everything's moving, so it's so fast to get past the perceivable. We're not measuring this with lasers and GPS. It's these 75-year-old dickhead lawyers who fucking can't see, I guess, and they're the ones judging this live in action. I'm like, you guys are fucking stone drunk, blind. We've seen so many things that you're just like, how did you fucking... Now you can't touch the quarterback. I actually... security had to come talk to me because I was losing my fucking mind. Third quarter, we could still fight and get into this game. We got them deep in their territory. 3rd and 9, fucking incomplete pass, right? Incomplete pass. Rashawn Gary comes around the corner, full tilt, guy's 6'4", 300 fucking pounds, running a 4.4, and he hits fucking Cousins to the ground. He just, drills him. So, like, Cousins basically releases the ball, gets hit.
How are you going to stop?
Flat.
How are you going to stop?
They don't want him to go. Motion. Now they want him to just stop and jump in the air. That's what they want. That's what you're designing this.
But that's
well,
not.
No, they don't want him to run.
That's not possible.
They're removing the downhill element to the game.
Just put a flag on his ass and grab the flag.
And then you get the Eagles with the fucking brotherly shove and the tush push.
That's what
they
I
can
wanted
just
to
do
ask
it
about. What's
through
the deal with that?
everybody. So they basically have an offensive line that is just dominant. Everything about this offensive line, is ridiculous. They are the best offensive line because they dish out. They don't wait for things to come to them, which I see the Packers do it. I see these fucking soft fucking pass blocking teams like hand fighting. They are dishing punishment every fucking play. That's what their line does.
Well, the tush push is what, where they like go behind and drive them forward. Pretty much.
They just do a wedge. The QB fucking gets the snap, and the running backs push the back of the QB behind the wedge. Other teams have tried it, and it fails because they don't have tough offensive lines. You really need a good offensive line to pull this off.
They're one of the highest paid positions in all sports.
And now they want to make that illegal because it can't be stopped. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. They can't be stopped because you're not allowing guys to go over the top. You're basically calling every little touch on the quarterback. It's pass. They don't want to rough the quarterback. They just don't want to give them, instead of 3 yards, 15. So the defense is probably like trying to get low and affect the blocking scheme. You can't go at their knees. That's illegal. You can't dive at linemen's knees for good reason. You should not be able to. All the blocking should be up top. But it's one of those plays that's exposing the weaknesses that the league has kind of designed by accident through the penalty system. So, yeah, that to me is why the league is so unpredictable right now. And then you also have fucking I can't believe the 49ers lost, to be honest, I thought.
Wait, why did security talk to you, though?
Oh, so
you were just screaming too loud?
I was losing my fucking absolute mind. I was just...
Were there a lot of kids?
No, it definitely wasn't surrounded by kids. Those girls... I was in the front row.
He'll do this in the bar, though. We'll be in the bar, and they'll just like, fuck!
Yes. Fuck!
And then people will look like, what the fuck? And it'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
ready to kill them. So
I listen, for the first time ever, I was a fish in my own pond. For the first time ever. So I was going full tilt. None of the fans were mad at me. I was next to a whole row of fucking... I was surrounded by Vikings fans.
That's
definitely
disgusting.
20% or so was Vikings fans, but especially in these like primary seats, I think, in the visiting corner, because the tunnel was on the opposite side and the home bench was on the far side. So I was definitely out of the home side of things, but everyone was real cool. The guy that I was next to actually missed the fucking Lambeau leap. The Packers had the ball. He goes, I'm going to go get food real quick. I'm going to grab a beer. He leaves. They get a turnover. The turnover comes down the field really quick. The next play was a touchdown pass. The guy fucking comes back to the seats after all the celebrating. Fox is there. All the social media people are taking pictures of them. Came back to get the rights to the photos. I'm actually in the background of half the videos and photos. I'm just like leaning against the fucking wall like this. But yeah, it was a fucking fantastic time. So thanks for that. Appreciate that.
I just want to mention Steven.
Thanks, Mom.
Steven says, Joe and I have suffered forever. We actually argue over who has it worse in terms of our football misery.
The Browns or the Jets? It's got to be the Jets, Steve.
It's the Browns because they don't have the Super Bowl. You at least have a Super Bowl.
I don't have a Super Bowl.
Your team does, though.
I don't remember.
They have a Lombardi at their,
I don't remember that.
No, nobody does anymore. I mean, that was 1976 with Joe Namath.
69.
It was 69. Oh my God, it was like Super Bowl 5.
Super Bowl 3.
Super Bowl 3. Yeah.
Oh, it was 3? Oh shit, I should know that. Got the first 2. Next one was the Jets.
All right. So in the vein of sports, was segue into sports entertainment. Chris,
Not
I know
sports, pal. It's sports entertainment.
pro wrestling, motherfucker.
Fake?
Catch us
What?
up, Chris, on
Man,
what
you
you've
gotta-
been watching
You gotta
this
put
week.
this fucking shit on me. I don't want to fucking talk about this bullshit. There's nothing. No.
Yes, he does.
There's not too much going on. I mean,
What do you mean?
there's Crown Jewel tomorrow. We're
Yeah.
missing SmackDown right now. There's Crown Jewel tomorrow. Really, I think the big thing on that is LA Knight versus Roman Reigns.
He's getting a main
knows-
event title match.
main event title match in Saudi Arabia, but it's like if everybody knows he's going to lose and it's going to be some stupid shit, they're not going to have him lose the belt in Saudi Arabia. If they do, that's the best thing they could do because then people will be like, oh, and feel like they missed something, but they're not going to do that. And if they keep it on, like, nobody's watching on Saturday during the daytime.
That's true.
You know, they're doing their business and they're finding out about it. So it's a good idea if you had like a big, whoa, he lost, no way. And then people are going to fucking watch it later on or whatever. But that's not going to happen. So who gives a fuck? Ric Flair is now in AEW. So
He's going to die in the ring, I swear to God.
It's his
I
wish.
mean, if you ever saw his retirement, like there was it was when he was forced into retirement in WWE. They had him in the ring and he was going to do a segment, Joe, if you remember, and everybody's like, no, he's going to announce the retirement, and he's like, and I'm here to announce,
I'll never
never retire. I will not stop until I die in this ring, is what he says. So,
Oldest ride.
longest line.
Woo!
It is funny. I mean, so apparently his Woo energy drink will be like the official drink of AEW now. They're going to put it on camera all the
good for him.
time.
I
They're going to
like
be
his
selling it. I don't know how many people are able to just sit there and suck down energy drinks of any sort. You know,
What's in it? Tequila?
could be. You know, it's
Cosmo?
funny.
Ric Flair's a notorious for
Yeah,
having
it's funny.
Cosmos.
What's the name of that podcast that everybody loves? Theo Von. He was like, he was talking. I saw a funny segment where he was talking to Hulk Hogan, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, I don't know. Guys obviously got problems. If you told them he would drink his own blood, if you told him it had gin in it, that's pretty much what he said."
Oh, my God.
Out of all the wrestlers that we lost way too soon, I am in absolute shock that Ric Flair's still alive.
Well, he's more alcohol than it is drugs, which, I mean, alcohol is also very damaging.
This
But
fucking guy's liver is a fucking
probably cooked.
cast iron liver. He just keeps going, man.
Like Ozzy Osbourne. He just keeps
He
going.
just fucking Sharon, fuck off.
Keith Richards,
He
Ozzy,
fucking-
Ric Flair.
They took so many drugs to actually preserve themselves successfully.
Somehow. If my grandmother stopped smoking, that would have killed her, so she had to keep going.
I mean, hey, I love Ric Flair. I'm glad to see him. I don't know. I'm sure this deal is great for him. I don't know if AEW. I don't want to say, you know, like Ric Flair's done it. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? I just don't know if they'll get a return on their investment.
He's not the draw that he was 30 years ago. He's just not. I don't even know if he was a draw 30 years ago. I've never really been in the vein that Ric Flair is going to put asses in seats. It's when Ric Flair gets his teeth into a promotion, he develops a certain amount of hatred with the fans, and the fans didn't necessarily pay to see him. Some of them do. There's areas, Steve is going to fucking hammer me for this one, but the people pay to see Ric Flair get his ass kicked. That's what makes a good heel.
Well, Ric Flair was the heel to
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes' face. Like, he was bigger in the,
The
territories.
Stinger.
Oh, really?
So they brought him into the
Oh, yeah.
WWF because of his territory fame, because they knew that they would be able to fold in more of those territory fans.
His
Well, he must have
WWF
been
tenure
WWF.
flopped in 92.
It did. He was only there for a year,
A
right?
year and a half, but it flopped
Yeah.
really bad.
How did the Woo come back so big? How did the Woo over the last, I don't know, 5? I feel like the last 5
It's just
years.
ingrained every time you
Well, there was a
chop.
It's like Snoop Dogg.
Woo!
there was a promo he did with another guy where they were
Jay
doing
Lethal.
a woo-off. Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Lethal does a really good Ric Flair impersonation. You can't be me.
He does a very good voice. Yeah, I just don't know. Like at this point, they keep signing all these big names, and that he's paying them millions. But is that translating into higher viewership that they're going to get a return on the investment? Maybe they are. I don't know what
They need to go into smaller buildings, because now what they're doing is they're going in these buildings that the WWE would go into, and
they're not filling
them up, and they're only putting the audience on one side of the arena. So now these audience members are taking pictures of their arena, and this other half of the arena is completely fucking empty. And it makes it look like it's full when you're looking at the camera angle that has the fans shown. But I think they need to go into a smaller arena, and that way you can get the acoustics right. It'll be louder for them. And then when they get back to where they can actually fill up, the United Center, CM Punk sold out the United Center a couple times, whatever. And that's a good 17,000, 18,000 people.
Jesus, I feel like that clip of what was that match that was at the Hammerstein Ballroom?
Small. It's 4,000 people. I've been there several times.
Hammerstein was very small.
And that was where
That's where ECW was
ECW,
a little bit. Not
thank
really though, right? It was more Philadelphia, but they did stuff in that.
ECW did the last couple of shows. They did the last couple of pay-per-views at the Hammerstein Ballroom. I was at all 5 of them.
Hammerstein's gone now, right? It's not
I'm
even
still there.
It's not Hammerstein anymore though.
It's Hammerstein Ballroom.
Really? They kept the name
go
and
see,
everything?
concerts.
Oh, yeah.
Like Roger
I've been there a few
I thought that
times.
was gone. I thought they made it like Nokia Theater or some bullshit.
What
Some kind of stupid name.
the fuck?
Shit, probably.
Thinking about something else.
Speaking of ECW, I just wanted to give another shout out to my boy CJ.
That's
So last Saturday he fought Tommy Dreamer
awesome.
at the Space in Westbury for the Space in Between, and great match. Had a fantastic time. What was really crazy was, he has like a very tight knit fan base. His family always comes out for his big matches and stuff. So we completely overtook the crowd. Like we were cheering the shit out of him when he came out. And Tommy Dreamer actually took the time to like grab the mic afterwards and like had a little speech about like it was actually the 34th anniversary of the first time he ever stepped in a ring.
Shit.
The night that he fought CJ.
Wow.
And he said he remembered that like his family came out to like, celebrate him. And that he doesn't have a family anymore to do that. So, like, cherish it while he's got it.
He lost his mother recently or something.
Yeah, so, like...
What's his backstory?
Tommy Dreamer, he's an ECW original. He did a really good pile drive at RVD at one time. He
he always had the
good
kendo stick.
kendo stick.
So Tommy Dreamer's origin story in ECW, he came out, he wore like spandex, and he wore like suspenders, and he was kind of like a pretty boy, stripper, dancer kind of wrestler. And then he started a feud with the Sandman, and the Sandman ripped him a new asshole and really showed him how to become hardcore. He had a cane match with Sandman where you'd have to give the loser 10 shots to the back with a kendo stick, and Tommy lost. And fucking Sandman welted the fuck out of him. And the fans just grew an affinity for Tommy Dreamer because he took this abuse. He took this actual pain. Wrestling's not fake.
He continues to, too. He
continues
still
Fight
to
does
the
take
Sandman. He's going to
abuse.
throw a few potatoes.
And then he switched from that kind of character into the innovator of violence, and he became like an ECW hardcore wrestler. And Tommy Dreamer was a ECW mainstay. He was there till the ship sank. He was also a huge contributor to their production. He would do T-shirts for them. He would, drive the ring, drive the merchandise. He would, book the buildings. Like, he was a big part of all the backstage stuff within ECW. So he was a big part of keeping that little engine afloat for all those years. And
After that, TNA. I mean, he's a big part of TNA, I think, still.
well, he went to WWE after
Yes,
the
yes,
ECW
yes.
fell off, and then he was just kind of like a jobber there. Didn't really do much there. But
Help
Tommy
elevate
Dreamer,
others.
Tommy Dreamer is just he's a classic New York guy. He
Journeyman.
was actually trained by the same guy who trained me for a little while, Johnny Rods. Johnny Rods is a trainer out in Gleason's gym in Brooklyn, New York. He is noted for training Taz, Tommy Dreamer, and Devon Dudley.
Oh, shit.
All ECW guys.
Wow, that's great. Fucking awesome for CJ.
There's a lot of action and comments here. Even though we're not talking about football anymore, I just want to mention Steven said something pretty funny. He said the Browns have incidents named after them. The drive, the fumble, red right, 88, Bottlegate.
Bud fumble.
Come
Come
on,
on,
Steve.
Is it the Browns?
Trumps everything.
Well, that's the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying
yeah.
the Jets have one specifically.
Blackheart Pop Culture says another one of our loyal fans for quite some time. Appreciate you, buddy. I hope Roman finally does lose. We are done now. We need someone new. I like RVD. If LA Knight or Damian Priest, because I mean that could be it too. Imagine LA Knight won and then Damian Priest cashed in. It was like, what the fuck? It'd be a total shit show. They could do cool stuff like that, but they don't. They're just like saving it. And
You know what would be really bad if Cody wins at WrestleMania and then Damian Priest cashes in on him?
that's what people are saying. Well, hey,
Should be two.
I want
Should
to
be them
mention
too.
this. I got to mention this. I watched Raw the other night, and Cody cut a fucking good, believable,
I saw
phenomenal
that.
promo on Damian Priest, and like
funny.
he had the emotion, he had the passion. He was just like, "You're a fucking follower," pretty much. He didn't say F-bomb, he said it only Cody could, but he was like, "You're a walk behind her. You walk behind this person," and like it felt very real. It was a very good promo. Damian Priest did great too. He was, "You're finished." He's got this really deep voice, Damian Priest. I don't know if you've ever heard it. But very, very deep. Like I can't even get that deep, barrel deep. And he was just, his face was great too. Damian Priest, he had that like bewildered, like you just bitched me out face, which is exactly what you want in your heel. So that there's definitely some kind of future there, but I don't think that it's gonna. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're
Speaking
gonna
of
do.
heel, who's starting to grow on you these days, Chris?
Who's starting to grow on me?
Yeah.
Oh well, yes.
There we go.
I wanna do somewhat of a make right because I am capable of admitting or changing my opinion.
Steve, get the record button out for this one.
Well, no, I was just saying. Wrong camera there. I was just saying.
You missed Bret Hart was better.
Like a week or two ago that I felt that MJF, I never said he's not good. I just don't idolize him as much as other people do because he's very good at being a typical Long Island fucking douchebag. But I'm surrounded by Long Island douchebags. We're a bunch of fucking Long Island douchebags. Look at us.
I'm not from Long Island.
You're fucking still long. You're a Long Islander, you fucking
Been Long
sorry
Island
prick.
long enough.
You fucking drink the water. You got the fucking breast cancer fucking water like the rest of us. You're going to fucking die prematurely. So
Well.
fucking... no, he's very good at being a Long Islander, and that's where I'm like, everyone's like, he's such a good heel. I'm like, you don't live on Long Island. Everybody's like this. He's not a good heel.
Everyone's a heel.
Everyone's a heel. But I do want to kind of backpedal on that a little bit because I will say, especially in the last year or two, first of all, he's improved his physique significantly. He's gotten a lot bigger. He's a lot more carved. He actually looks, like you were saying, Joe, he looks like a champion now. Whereas, like, if you remember, like, 2 or 3 years ago, when he was still pretty popular, he decent, but he doesn't look like he
Gotta
does
get
now.
the main event physique. I think Triple H kind of originated that, where he just came out of nowhere.
Hey, even Hogan,
Well,
goes so back.
Well, you're talking about from one extreme to the next, where Triple H was kind of in the background behind Shawn Michaels, and then he just redid his physique to where he was just like, you looked at him differently. I think that's what's missing in pro wrestling is a lot of the guys in AEW, they're small, they don't really have physiques, they don't really look like they fucking touched a weight. And
Right.
realistically, I could kick the shit out of these guys. I'm not going to pay tickets in the front row to go see you because you could do 6 flips and fucking hang off the fucking ropes and flip again and then kick out 6 times. Like, I want to watch somebody who's imposing, who looks like they could actually do some fucking damage.
Yeah.
And regardless of whether it's scripted or whatever, you need to fucking have some fucking muscle on your frame. So I agree with you.
I agree.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah. He's definitely improved. He's also improved on the mic, and I've watched a little bit of AEW lately, and more so I listened to Jim Cornette review it. But they're basing like
He had a great match with Kenny Omega last week. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see the match. I
Classic
heard about
match.
it, but they're also like basing like 6 stories. He's got like 6 people going. Samoa Joe's coming after him. Kenny Omega was coming after him. The Bullet Club or whatever was coming after the tag trio belts. The ROH tag belts that he's got that are kind of meaningless, but whatever, that he defended in a handicap match. Who else has he got coming after him? There's like fucking like he's facing all these different people. So I give them credit. You know, they're really basing
doing
everything
the
off
opposite of what they do with Roman Reigns, where he wrestles one guy every 3 months.
which, you know, I've been thinking about what you were saying, Joe, and it's like, what if
They was good fighters, but they wasn't killers like this guy. They was handpicked.
He'll knock you in the mortal rock.
I feel like maybe there is truth to your theory of like, what if he's actually still battling leukemia and that's why they're keeping him off TV, you know? But I'm like, even if that was the case, like,
I don't think that's
all right,
the
but
case.
he didn't need to have the belt still. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's done, and
They did it
everybody in
for
the
The
comments
Rock.
agrees with us too with that.
If it doesn't end at the next WrestleMania, there's no hope.
But even that's April. It's November.
I mean,
I'm
Jesus, the way the months are going, we
I know, but
better
I mean-
start planning for it now. To be honest,
much. What?
how are we gonna make WrestleMania? What number is this? 53,
40.
40. This is 40. This is a whole number.
40.
Oh, this is a big deal then.
Yes.
It's in
Oh,
Philly.
all right.
Yeah,
So then,
If it was anywhere but Philly, I know Steve wants to go. Steve, if you really want to go and the tickets are not bad,
we're not
and-
going to be able to see.
and you'll drive me, I'll go.
we're going to be sitting on a
I
roof.
can't fucking stand Philadelphia.
I
It's fucking filthy.
I get a parking ticket almost every time I go.
jerk
fucking
off.
boo the Pope in fucking Philadelphia. We got a lot of comments here still. I want to work through them. We also have actually not a lot of comments. Steven has also said Flair told me to sit my fat ass down when I was 9 at the Memorial Fieldhouse
Oh my god.
in West Virginia. I was mouthing at him. He's one of the best. I love Flair. And then From the Dungeon is at the house. He's stuck at work. He said, what did I miss? It's the 2-year anniversary, Dungeon. We shouted you out
in the
from
first
start. We
5
love you, brother.
minutes, buddy. You're there. You're
Yeah.
right there with us for the 2-year.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Thank you. Blackheart filled me in. Wardlow is also coming after MJF now, which, you know,
Well, he was his bodyguard when he first came out.
and that was a super hot story. And then it had its blow off, and then nothing happened, and Wardlow kind of fell
I
into
kind of
obscurity.
like that. It's like he's Spider-Man and he has his rogues gallery coming after him. I
It
like that a
feels
lot.
like that's what I was getting at. Is it feels like that,
different, and it's good.
right? And even now, like even with Samoa Joe, he's had some kind of dynamic as well, where Samoa Joe's like kind of defending him now or something like that. He's teaming up with the Acclaimed, like he's doing everything. They're basing the whole show off of him.
It was awesome.
So,
So they basically only
I give
have
him
like
credit.
what? Does he feature in both shows or just one?
He's on all the shows.
I don't know if he's on Collision. I think he's mostly on Dynamite.
He's on Collision.
Yeah, I see.
He's on- Now that Punk isn't gone, he's free to go and roam wherever he wants. He's a champion. He has to do that. To kind of wrap up our wrestling segment, and we have one last segment for you guys, a little bit of an anniversary segment. I just want a yes or no, as we are in the month of November now, and right after Crown Jewel is the Survivor Series, which is a notoriously controversial event. No matter the year, there's never been more controversy in any event than the historic history of the Survivor Series. We're talking about the Montreal Screwjob, The Rock turning heel, the Alliance and Kurt Angle turning on the Alliance. There's all sorts of controversy and twists and turns that happen at the Survivor Series. Sting debuted at the Survivor Series for the first time in the WWE a couple of years back. So real quick, we can go around. Yes or no, is CM Punk going to show up in Chicago for this year's Survivor Series? Vin?
Yes.
Yes.
My big-
Immediately.
Without
yes.
knowing anything, well, knowing the little that I know, if he's gonna, that's probably the best time.
Yes, I agree with that.
Based on what you're saying, based on the lead up to WrestleMania and the 20 weeks that it's like 20 shows.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes as well. Chris, what say you?
I don't know.
That's not an answer.
I feel like just because it's WWE, it's like no, but like if they don't do it, you know that show it's in Chicago, which is his place. You know the show is going to get hijacked.
Yes.
So like they have to
CM
be
Punk.
expecting that.
CM Punk.
The whole show is going to be that. So if they don't do
Oh.
it, it's just going to be like because Chicago wrestling fans, I think, are some of the worst wrestling fans.
They're
Too.
one of some of the best.
They're some of the worst.
They're
Though.
loyal. They're loud.
They're loud. They're
And
definitely loud.
they have a historical memory.
They have a history of like hijacking shows, just like the Brooklyn crowds do too.
yes, and the Montreal crowds.
Which is a newer thing because they didn't know, Barclays, WWE and Barclays, somewhat new.
Well, they stopped going to the Garden because it's so fucking expensive to
Right.
rent the Garden, so that they moved into Barclays the last couple of
And
years.
they never do Nassau Coliseum, which AEW is doing a show at Nassau
I
Coliseum.
was just at a Nassau
But
show.
they don't do it as often as they used to.
They don't do
Not a
major
TV.
shows. It's just a small fucking dumpy fucking hole in the wall.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
want to do WrestleMania or SummerSlam at Nassau Coliseum when they can go into these football stadiums and put 80,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Nassau Coliseum's holding 10,000 people.
We
and
should
it's
have had
I'm
fucking-
saying they don't do. You don't see many
the
Raws
pretzels are
there.
stale. It sucks.
Yeah.
Fuck good.
AEW is doing a show there,
Fucking
though.
floor is
It's,
sticky. The
review.
pretzels suck.
They don't even have the curly
Just
fries.
burn
on
that fucking place. It's terrible.
I don't hate
Make it a bingo hall. What the fuck are you doing?
Knock it down, build
Didn't
something
they
decent.
they rebuilt it? Isn't it a whole fucking new stadium
No, they
now?
reskinned it. They
It's
fucking
like
they
a-
I
skinned.
thought they built a new one next to the old
It's
Oh,
like
one.
a
that's
Call of
UBS.
Duty,
UBS Arena
yeah.
is like up the road there.
Yeah, that's a new arena. That's a new
UBS
stadium.
is where AEW's also been doing stuff now.
Yeah, they have.
I haven't been there yet. I haven't seen that one. I don't know if it's probably small. It's probably 20.
That's where the Islanders play. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. It's like I said, I don't think they will, but if they don't, then the fans will hijack the show, and they must know that, so maybe they will. Either way, I think it'll be all right.
I want to read a
It's
couple
not do you
comments
want.
real quick. Steve, yes or no, is CM Punk showing up at Survivor Series? Also from the dungeon, I want to hear from you. But real quick, comment section. Stephen Bias says, Joe used to tell me all the time that the wrestlers I grew up looked like Long Island plumbers. The wrestlers he would watch in the AWA or the NWA were like Arn Anderson, balding with beards and fat guts.
Oh, well, yeah,
and-
but they look believable. They look like your fucking dad was going to beat the shit out of you. That was the thing about those guys.
But then you look at Arn Anderson, who's got hairy legs and a fucking gut, and then you look at the Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage, who's screaming, and they're all oiled up and chiseled. Like it's.
But then you look at a guy like Adam Cole, who's fucking looks like smaller
We're
than me.
talking 80s though. We're talking.
Yeah, I'm just saying I would take somebody that's got the physique of a fucking burly alcoholic plumber over a fucking guy who just doesn't go to the fucking gym.
I'll take
you
that.
know what I mean?
I'll take that.
I have to believe it.
I'll take
You know, a guy my size is not beating the shit out of somebody
anybody.
that's fucking.
It's what I just said
realistic.
before.
Yeah,
Literally
it's-
what I just said.
Yeah, it's total agreement. Which how often do we get to say that over the past 2 years from the dungeon? Would love to point out how often me and Joe may or may not agree.
Oh, watch over
but
Chris. Chris will fucking bite your Achilles off.
we'll
you know what I
fucking.
mean?
He's a little guy.
The more I believe something, the more you guys want to believe the opposite. It's fine.
What?
All right. So before we go into our final segment, is there anything that anybody wants to get off their chest this week and is pissed about something? Rob, you have anything? You've been awfully quiet there.
Shit. I mean, the biggest thing I had to complain about was the like when I was playing the Spider-Man game, the shit just kept crashing on me. I think it crashed like 4 separate times.
Really?
The Mario game, I really
Spider-Man,
didn't get any rage quit about. The traffic today
Again?
was really bad.
This fucking
I
guy.
thought you
This
switched to
fucking
audio
guy,
books.
bro. Is
But it wasn't, but I will say,
He's run
I
out of
didn't-
them.
I didn't curse at all. I didn't curse
Jeez.
at all because of the audiobooks.
What are you
Thanks
listening
Chris. Right now, I am listening to Heir to the Empire.
Oh, right.
I went
okay.
back to Star
Aren't you as well
Wars.
then?
I finished. Yeah, I
You
finished.
finished
I'm at,
three?
I'm at the part where
Three
Luke
of them?
and Mara Jade
No.
are in that jungle shit, trying to like get out of the jungle, and Grand Admiral Thrawn's there talking to Talon Card, like trying to figure out if Luke Skywalker's on the planet. And
Yeah, he's
Han
sniffing.
and
He's
Leia
sniffing
Talon-
out
knows what's
hard.
happening
Talon
through
Card
there.
is a great, great character.
C-3PO's
Talon Card.
pretending to be Leia.
Yep.
That shit's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
funny.
So you only read one of those 3 books?
I did the first. Yeah, so there's Heir to the Empire. There's 3 Heir to the Empires?
No. There's Dark Force Rising, which is the direct
Okay.
sequel, and then The Last Command.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah, I didn't start
Okay,
this.
so
I
yeah,
didn't
you
buy
got
them
it.
yet.
You got to do the trilogy, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah,
oh,
it
it's,
only
oh,
makes
it's a
sense.
great start.
And then there's 2 more that follow
Spectre
that.
of the Past and Vision of the Future.
Right.
Alright.
And those
So
are all
technically,
not
there's
canon,
5
but
books, but
yeah,
I kind of slipped out. Yeah, I kind of shifted the back to music.
gets
for some
better and
reason.
better and better.
It's not even that I didn't want to. It's just for whatever reason.
I just
the
listened
whole-
to some music today for the first time in like since the beginning of the summer.
So
would
Rob
say.
in traffic, man. Rob is just fucking hates traffic.
you-
He's
it's-
terrible.
You know what it
He'll
is?
call me up. He'll be like, hey, I know. Like, my phone will ring, and he doesn't FaceTime. It'll be a phone call. I'm like, Rob's in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's either in the car or he's got a toy he wants to show me. He wants to know if I want to buy it.
Well, that's a FaceTime call.
Yeah, it's over FaceTime. I just know he's in the car. He's calling me, and we'll be on the phone. And he's like, "Cocksucker!" It's just so fucking.
Motherfucking son of a
yeah.
it's
I'm like,
terrible.
oh, dude, you're in the fucking car.
It's
Yep.
terrible.
Fucking traffic. Fucking fuck.
Just want to acknowledge
People
a couple
drive
of
worse.
comments real quick, and then we can go back to that. Stephen Bias did give me an answer on the CM Punk thing, and so did From the Dungeon. From the Dungeon said, CM Punk can't show up. It's sold out. He's being sarcastic. It's like
That's what CM Punk's response was. He's like, "Oh, isn't it sold out?"
Right.
You know.
Right. And Steven says, WWE will not deal with Punk. Seth, Roman, Triple H just don't want the headache. And my man, the WWE product is smoking right now. They don't need him.
100,000% agree.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
don't
I've
need
been
him.
saying from the start. They don't need him. They really don't. And it's he does bring with him every time he goes anywhere. It becomes
Baggage.
sour grapes and baggage, and that's why you know my opinion on him. I was not really a big fan of him ever since after the mic drop was good, and that was about it. I thought he fucking bitched and moaned, took his ball and went home.
Bitched.
But
I'm going to keep it spicy and say he shows up.
I think he does too, and I want him to now. I actually want him to, just because I want this guy to get some redemption and have a solid end of his career. So I think
Can he capitulate to like whatever the demands might be? He could play a heavy heel if you're saying he's not well fucking liked.
He's well liked in
He's always been
Chicago.
good
That's
at
really
that.
it.
yes, he's
And everybody loves a heel. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, I think he could fit into that role of he's not trusted. There's a general distrust for this guy based on his track record, and his whole attitude kind of sucks. And I think if
it's weird though
if he's
because
willing to play that guy,
he's got like a double reputation because it's either obviously he can't be trusted, he's backstage, what all that shit. But then there's also a lot of guys. Obviously, Bret Hart's a big fan because he's always praising Bret Hart. So Bret Hart recently said that if anybody was the most like him, it's CM Punk. This was something I read yesterday, actually.
The only difference is no one in the locker room hated Bret Hart. Bret Hart was a hero and the leader of the locker room. Shawn Michaels didn't hate Bret. He just wanted his spot.
Yeah.
Just wanted
It's a fair
what Bret
point.
had. When you think about what Bret did in the early 90s when Vince McMahon outlawed marijuana in the locker room, and Bret said, "What the fuck?" He said, "This is what we do to relax at night. You take this away, we're going to start popping pills and painkillers, and all these wrestlers died from this heavy dose of alcohol and pain pills because they weren't allowed to smoke marijuana in the fucking 90s, and now it's not a thing anymore." But still, in that era, nobody stood up to the locker room. Bret Hart did.
Yeah.
okay.
And there's speaking up, and then
Canada.
there's being outspoken, and then there's like fucking being too
Whining.
outspoken.
He defended the locker room.
Hart was on that end of the spectrum, whereas one might argue Punk appears to be further.
Punk was out for himself. That's
Yeah.
the
I think he
difference.
was more. I don't know what the word would be. Ego driven. Just so if you want to read off actually some of the other comments we have here, Joe. Some really nice things. Yeah, From the Dungeon said it can't really be 2 years. No way. It's been 2 fucking years that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
And if you look at our first
Jeez.
episode and you look at this episode,
far cry.
we're not
was
fucking.
a far cry.
Obviously we're still
We're
fucking.
not doing it in post.
Yeah,
We're certainly
we're
not.
doing it live, and
Read Steve's on a side note.
So I thought that was really nice. Stephen Bice said on a side note, congrats on the 2 years of this podcast. Keep your nose to the grind. You guys will break out. It's too entertaining not to.
Thank you.
And that last sentence really drives it home because I feel that way too. I mean, come on, there's been some funny shit on here, especially the AI and the who stays, who goes, and the fun
We
stuff.
got to
that
bring
we've
back
done.
the AI reading scripts and shit.
We do have a Who Stays, Who Goes for you
We
tonight.
do have
a
that.
back-to-back Who Stays, Who Goes. But before we get to that, is there anything that's pissing you off this week that you want to go over?
I also wanted to mention some of our goals just for our loyal fans here. We plan to do guests this year.
Yes.
That's the
Oh,
next.
he's
That's the
putting it
next.
out?
I'm putting it
It's a
out there. That's
tease?
our next big focus.
Steve
Up to
from the
something
dungeon.
season.
And
Looking
those
at you
guests
guys.
could be
We're
you
up to
guys, the people,
something.
the people that are already in the comments. But
I think the next evolution is guest, and I also want us to have a phone-in.
Listen,
And
yes.
I instead
from the
of
dungeon, call up.
Yeah,
and
they
get
don't
us-
want
call
us-
up,
they
man.
don't want us-
Call in, answer a question, chime in with us. We want you to be a part of the show.
Well, one thing
Gotta
I
figure
would
out how
like
this
to
thing works.
implement with the guests is somehow bringing the fans' questions to the guests that we have. Maybe we'll try to
Absolutely.
put up a post, before the people come on to
Listen,
ask your questions, and then maybe
We need you guys
bring
to
them
help
on.
advertise us because we're all lazy fucks with jobs and girlfriends and 18
We're not
video
lazy.
games.
We're just exhausted and miserable
Well, I mean,
outside of this
burning.
Friday
like
night.
everybody else in America.
We're a little lazy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you don't want us to get too
Fucking- I'm not
successful
lazy,
because you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to start charging to read these comments out loud if there's enough of them. So
Oh, see,
all these guys
we
got
won't
to
charge-
pass.
these
All
guys get on the
gotta
ground
pass,
level,
no
so
doubt.
they-
Everybody,
yeah.
but
Speaking of which, though, Jackson, the game dude, said, "This is my first time watching this podcast. I can't wait to watch more. Congrats on 2 years." So,
Thank you.
you know, that's
sir.
the hope we
Welcome.
need.
Yes.
That is the sustenance
yeah, we need it.
Salute.
Living
know,
off the
the
feedback.
body.
Because otherwise, apart from this live, all we have is the shorts where it's just the vitriol and the hatred that fuel everything.
We have tons
They
of
just disagree.
we have done
So
in,
much.
in excess of 50 lives already. Like we're creeping up into the 300 mark for amount of content that we have on our channel.
When's
We've-
the
It's an
100th
unpaid
episode?
part-time job.
There are ways to go for
From the
that.
dungeon? Count that for somebody.
From the
count that.
dungeon and Steve need to fly down or drive down to New York for the 100th episode if we're
if
still
we
doing
didn't
it.
miss a few weeks, would have been at 104. I guess.
No, I don't know.
Oh my god.
We gotta figure it out. But yeah, lots of exciting things. What's pissing me off right now? I couldn't even tell you. I'm so
Subscription hikes.
This guy's he's like
Subscription hikes.
blacked out on hatred right now. That's why
I
couldn't
am-
order his Taco Bell.
I'm literally. I've just been having a fucking rough 2 weeks of just every person that I come across wants something from me, and I just don't want to
Chris, can
fucking.
you do me a favor?
It really, it's hard. It's hard
That's
to
literally
be,
all I hear all day. Hey, can you do me a favor? And I'm just like, I just don't want to do. Nobody does me any fuck. Where's my fucking favors? Where you know?
Don't say that. Did you
Yeah,
show him what I got you for your
That's
birthday?
over
that
there.
just
Yeah,
came?
outside of
Joe, grab
our
that. It's
Fridays,
right there.
outside of our our Fridays together. And
So I
some
pre-ordered
other
this a
things.
while back, but it finally dropped. I got this for Chris for his birthday, but it finally came. I got
Fucking
a
guy.
3 3/4 inch Grand Admiral Thrawn figure.
You don't have my
size.
birthday gifts for you, do you?
Goes, no, they're up on the dining room table.
guy.
Unbelievable.
But Vin was very fucking cool. He got me a one of 1,200 fucking set of Spider-Verse pins from the D23 membership, and he also got me a basically a documentary and a book about the creation of the original trilogy of Star Wars with visual guides, and
All the
kinds of
behind the
stuff.
scenes photos, all the
crazy shit.
stories,
So I
all the
can't
little.
wait to check that out.
It's
I might have to lend that one to my brother too for a while because he'll probably get an appreciation out
Oh,
of it too.
good. I knew when I saw it, I was like, this is one of those things like I know you wouldn't get for yourself, but you should have it in your collection of it. It's the whole behind the scenes story.
Nah, I appreciate it. I love you, bud. Thank you so much.
Of course, love you.
Fuck yeah.
Nothing's pissing Chris off.
No,
still?
there's it's almost like
You know what I
can't
will mention
really
too,
think
though?
about it.
The fact that they put Christmas shit out like fucking 2 months
In
before
August.
Halloween.
Yeah.
We went over that earlier already.
No, but it's like
the show?
ridiculous.
Not on the
I
show.
don't think
We
on the
weren't
show
live,
when we
pal.
did that.
No,
We're live,
like,
pal.
Like literally, I think I went to Michael's like the beginning of October, around the time like Comic-Con happened, and it was all Christmas. There was an end cap with Halloween shit. I'm like, this is unacceptable. You got to figure, Halloween's the end of the month. You know,
Can I admit right now,
I think I got it. It's pissing
I'm going
me
to
off.
Mickey's Christmas party at Disney World in December.
but that's December. You know, it's it makes fucking sense. It's cold.
Yeah, you're gonna be in Florida at least. Right?
Hell yeah! I was
I
like,
should be
fucking,
able to
I want
walk
to go
into a
away
store
for
with
Christmas
a
now.
T-shirt and get a fucking Christmas tree in New York. You can't do that.
I know.
Oh, I forgot
I just
it.
can't. And listen, I like enjoying the run up to Thanksgiving. We got the foods. Now we
I
got the
hate
chilies. Really?
I hate it.
I mean, it's
Thanksgiving?
an
You
awesome.
sit around a table eating shitty food.
Oh, it's my
Hold
favorite.
on a second.
Nobody
No, no, no,
wants-
Stop. Wait.
That
Wait.
food sucks.
Let me be
What
the
are we talking
response.
about?
Hold on, let me finish. Nobody.
No, it's
turkey
not-
sucks.
Okay.
It's fucking horrible.
Take
Hold on.
that.
All right, fine, but stuffing doesn't.
Sides?
Stuffing and cranberry, you only
Delicious.
eat it, but you're only gonna eat it that
The
one
blizzard
day.
mashed
Listen,
potatoes.
There's
Joe,
no
squash.
other fucking day in the fucking calendar year where you're having
Good.
stuffing and
Love it.
fucking
Carbs.
But here's the thing,
Maybe
Joe.
maybe
more than a
Christmas.
bomb with sweatpants on.
I love
go.
it. I
Oh,
love
I
it.
know,
It's a
fucking-
holiday for fat fucks like me.
Well, and also
Every day's a fucking holiday for you. You just got to go through the fast food line twice.
That's it.
Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck Thanksgiving. There, I'm done. That's
All
it.
right. That's,
well,
hey,
you know what?
he's
But you don't
sticking
have
to
a
it.
you don't
He's
have
sticking to
a
it.
big family.
I did.
No, I know. But
I
I'm
did.
saying this is rooted in his life.
What do you
know,
mean? I've had huge Thanksgivings when I was a kid.
I'm just saying you don't have a fucking you don't have siblings,
Usually,
right?
I hated Thanksgiving so much. My mother would make me bake ziti on Thanksgiving because I wouldn't eat the rest of the food because it sucked.
my mother
Well,
used to
also,
make that
listen, I
before
grew
the
up
turkey,
Italian, so there would usually be.
And my mother would bake.
Manigot.
My mother would bake the mozzarella in the stuffing, and when you lifted it, it was maron, crispy on the top. Fucking forget about it. Let me tell you right now.
That's what I'm saying. If it's good food, I mean, my dad.
Most
makes,
of it is not.
Eh.
The main course sucks. You fall asleep eating
I don't
that
care
shit.
much for turkey either.
Listen, it's food and football on a fucking Thursday.
Pumpkin pie and football.
Give me
I'll
the
take
day
it. But the
off.
fucking turkey sucks. Change the turkey.
I take
Enough with the
listen,
fucking turkey.
Ham, Thanksgiving ham, delicious.
something else.
Turkey shouldn't be the
chicken.
only option. You normally got a
Turkey
couple
is
of
the only
options.
option.
Chicken.
Well,
I'll take
see,
chicken
that's in
over
your house. In my house, we got more than just turkey. We usually do got a
Chick-
ham.
Yeah, or chicken or a roast.
Ham is
I like
for fucking Christmas.
Yeah, I like the roast.
You can do whatever you
Christmas.
want. And then sometimes
We'll
they
do
do.
whatever.
Somebody does fish.
Actually, you know what we've been doing?
That's
you know what
Christmas
we've been doing?
Eve.
Lasagna for Thanksgiving. That's me and
Yes.
Sam's move. We bring lasagna.
I'll
And
never
everybody
have another ham
crushes
for a
that.
holiday for the rest of my
It's
life.
fucking
because
horrible.
My brother hosts them all, and he hates spiral ham.
I don't like ham either.
And my mother always,
hate it.
and that was a funny
spicy
thing about
brown
my
on
mother.
a
My
fucking
mother would
rye?
always make the ham,
good,
and then
man.
she tried to convince my brother
Once
to
in
eat
a
it,
while.
and he hated ham.
I don't eat pork. Pig is a filthy animal.
She'd
Can't
always
eat
tell
filthy
him,
animals.
"Oh, it came
Yeah,
extra
but
good."
pork
this year."
tastes good.
That might be
pork
some
chop tastes
charming
good.
motherfucking pig.
tastes good. Sorry.
Eat everything on the pig but the squeal.
I got an annoyance. It's stupid though, but I think everyone feels this one. Fucking the reusable bags at the supermarket or anywhere at this point, you just can't get a bag. And then you got to buy the reusable bag, but you
Right.
never bring the reusable.
Yeah, I
I
always
never.
forget.
I never
Right.
have that
And
shit.
then
I
you're
always
creating
bring
more,
them
from
yeah.
work.
and that doesn't break down.
I got hundreds of
Yeah, they're all
fucking
on my fridge.
Giuseppe's fucking
Yeah.
bags.
I never
woven
bring-
My
bags
job, I
instead
got
of a
'em.
plastic bag that rips when you just fucking.
Here's the
poke
problem with that, right? You go shopping,
but-
you put them in the reusable bag, right? You bring the bag inside, you put your groceries away. There's fucking bags in the house.
Yep, I fucking put it in the cabinet. What am I gonna walk it out to the
Walk
car?
back out to the
Expect me
car.
to have
let
the
me
I'm not
bring it
doing
at
that.
me. I'm
not doing
not. I'm not doing any of that. I
Not
just
doing
finished cooking and cleaning. You fucking so. Every fucking time I check out, they're like, "You want a bag?" And I'm not like,
What, am I gonna fucking
I'm
carry
not
it like
stubborn.
this?
Yeah, I'm not stubborn.
Ooh,
Like,
fucking
I
good.
see.
Where am I
some
going?
People,
Dude,
some-
I love when they fucking tell you. Hold on. I love when they tell you have 60 fucking items on the fucking counter.
You want bags?
Do you want bags? No, I'm just gonna fucking pick it up and I'm gonna fucking walk it out. And you're gonna help me, you fucking jerk off.
All right, one move that I did have was I was taking the whole cart out to the car, and I had the bags in the car.
Well,
I
that's
did
what you
do
have to
that
do at BJ's
a few
anyway.
times
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I just happened to like.
BJ's don't have bags. You always had to.
I don't even want to go shopping anymore. I just want to order it and pick it up.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
That's the thing now. I don't want to go in there. I don't want to deal with their music. I don't want to look at the fucking ice cream section and
love
be a fat
Giuseppe's.
fuck. Order it, fucking wait in line, comes
it
out,
up.
pick it up. I'm done. Here's my fucking boom boom.
Yeah. Just bring back fucking. Why do I have to pay for a paper bag? I thought we were just paying the penalty for the plastic. They're like, yeah, we're outlawing plastic.
Oh, wait.
But now it's a nickel for a fucking paper bag that rips and sucks
bullshit.
anyway. We just wound back to the 80s where they just had
Double
only paper
bag it.
anyway. I just
They don't make paper bags like they used to, because my grandma fucking used to use
sturdy
They
cardboard.
would use paper bags. They
Right.
would reuse
No,
them
this
for
is
everything.
fucking
Fucking
eggs with the
farm,
fucking
remember?
bananas.
This is construction
Yeah.
paper, fucking,
Yeah,
folded
yeah,
up
yeah.
into a fucking bag.
yeah.
It's bullshit.
Bullshit.
You made fucking stronger shit when you were in fucking elementary school.
'em.
Fuck them all. Stupid rule. We're just walking backwards. We just feel like I feel like we're going backwards. Paper straws, all
Paper
that
straws
shit.
fucking suck.
Makes my drink taste
After
like
about
shit.
3 seconds,
Take it out.
it's terrible.
I'm just drinking out of with the lid. Now I got to take the lid off and come on.
Spill it on yourself.
And then they got rid of it because fucking COVID and whatever.
Terrible.
Just going backwards. Fucking
Stop it.
I hate it. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm still so clouded by hatred for so many things that I can't single out
He's
one
a Seth.
thing.
He hates everything.
Oh yes.
It's almost like a
Sith
deflated
Chris.
hatred. It's not Sith, because at least the Sith is fueled by
Only
its
a
hate.
Sith
I'm
deals in
deflated by
absolute.
my hatred right now.
Well, give us one topic that you're really pressing on, and we'll wrap it up.
One thing that I hate right now.
Spider-Man.
He already did that one.
He scoffed at every fucking word that I said.
Fucking Spider-Man is not that good.
It's an 8.
It's really
an 8.
It is an 8. That's fair. I think 8 is a good score. Fucking Rob, I think rated like a 9.5 at first.
Said 9.2.
9.2.
Didn't do that for me.
Game is
had a lot of fun
dead.
having fun.
But people that were commenting on the short where I was saying it's not game of the year was like, it was the best game I played in 5 years. That's sad.
It's not game of the year.
It's sad.
It's no. That's
Definitely
abusing.
This year is going to be very hard to predict game of the year. It's probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom or Starfield or one of those games that or
not Starfield.
Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever, something like that. But
It's not a bad game.
this was a stacked year for gaming. We're going to do that in our year-end wrap-up, which is a while from now. But if you ain't got nothing, I have 2 Who Stays, Who Goes.
Let's do that. And if something, if
All
the
right,
hatred
I'm not
flows
staying
through
here
me-
till midnight. I
And
got to
then
go
we'll
home.
Yoko.
Yeah, I got to go home, Yoko. So I have a Who Stays, Who Goes, and if you're new to the show, we used to do this in the first pilot episode. We did it on the first couple episodes of the Break Room podcast. We're going to pick a category, and we're going to pick 3 things in the category, and each of us will go around, and we'd like to hear your thoughts in the
3 or
comments.
4?
3, only 3. We don't do 4. It's 3. It's an odd number. It's got to be an odd number. We're going to do 3, and you have to pick one of them. And when you pick one of them, that one did not exist. It never happened. It's gone from history. So I have a gaming one and I have a wrestling one. Which one do you want first?
Gaming.
Gaming.
yeah.
Okay. So Who Stays, Who Goes? Remember, when you pick one, their games, their character, all that stuff never fucking existed. Anniversary, 2 years. Congratulations, boys. Here's to another 2 years. So Who Stays, Who Goes? Here we go. Video games. Solid Snake, Sam Fisher, Master Chief. Rob, you start.
Sam Fisher, because I didn't play those games.
Oh, you're
You
a
made
piece
that
of
shit
what?
too easy.
It
Too
was
easy.
easy for me. I don't know Sam Fisher.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
never
gonna go.
played
I'm just
Splinter
gonna.
Cell? Never played Splinter Cell.
Me neither. Me neither. Sam
Big-
Fisher.
Oh
Fuck him.
my
He's dead.
God.
He's dead. He's gone.
All right.
No,
Splinter Cell is the most
sure if
inferior.
I
If you're
have
gonna
the
compare
knowledge.
Oh my
Splinter Cell,
God.
Metal Gear, or Halo, come on.
I know. Yeah,
Come on.
Master Chief was
I'm not
the one
saying
that
it
almost
sucked.
threw it off. Master Chief is too OP.
Nobody's getting rid of
Master
Chief. Nobody's getting rid of
Master
Snake
Chief has
either.
never missed.
Yeah, he's dead.
Never
Sam Fisher.
missed.
Yeah.
Master
This
Chief.
is why we gotta go. We
Maybe-
gotta make
do you
it
wanna
harder,
change it?
harder choice.
It was a
change
little
it?
easy, you know.
Yeah.
'cause-
So we're gonna keep. You want to change it? We can.
I mean,
change
you guys have
No,
owned Sam
leave
Fisher
it,
too,
leave
ain't
it.
you?
Oh man, I'm not voting Sam Fisher. You didn't hear what I said.
Oh, you got rid of Snake.
So
You're
who
not
you
getting rid of
getting
Snake.
I'm not
You
getting
get-
rid of Snake. I'm getting rid of Master Chief.
I don't believe you. You're a
You never,
Halo
you
fan.
never
No,
see
no,
his
no.
face. He's in a fucking helmet the whole time. He could be anybody. You can replace him with anybody.
But does that mean that Halo never existed?
No, because you want to be Master
You could
Chief.
just put the Arbiter there. Or
You
you could
are-
put
you
a
are
different
Master-
Master Chief
no.
in there. You could put any one of the other Spartans
No.
in
You
place of him,
are
and
Master
he's
Chief.
fucking
That's
taking
like
over.
Christianity without Christ. You can't
No.
fucking have Halo without Master Chief. Come on, there's a word. There's a
That's
slo-
incredible.
What's the name of that
I need
theory?
that
It's a
in a
historical.
I need that clip.
What is the name of it's a theory in history where it's like, well, if somebody like George Washington
Bro, it's
never
like not
came
having
around.
Hercules.
Hold on, there's a theory in
butterfly
history, the
effect?
Great Man theory. It pretty much says, I think that's what it's called. If somebody like George Washington didn't come around, the circumstances would have created another person like George Washington that would have. That's what you're pretty much saying, is if there was no Chief, somebody else.
Because of
But
the
then
way
why
the-
was there nobody else like Chief though?
because of the way the character is portrayed and because of the way that he's depicted. He's a Spartan. He's just a guy doing a job. He's doing tasks. He's not a lone guy on an island like Rambo with Solid Snake, where he has to take the entire weight of the world and the nuclear arms race in his hands, and he's
Wait,
not
Chief
in the.
doesn't? What are you talking about? Chief fucking saves humanity from the flood.
I'm gonna give the
from
Covenant
the
their bomb back.
He-
You know, come on.
He's literally just like fucking like breaking
Give me a
ships and
weapon.
hijacking them.
Well,
Just-
take down
That's
anything.
the point of this. But if you want to replace Sam Fisher's too easy. I could replace
Sam
it.
Fisher.
That's what I'm
This
But it's
saying.
almost like
nothing.
an illegal move if we do that.
I know. I'm trying to think of an equivalent to the
I got
Sam
one.
Fisher.
I got one.
Somebody
Well,
to
no,
replace
Snake.
Sam
No, I'm
Fisher.
going to go completely 180 turn, and I'm going to say Solid Snake because we know he's up there on the pantheon.
What
And
about
now
Mad Max? Not Mad Max. What's his name?
no, we're going to
Max
say
Payne.
Solid Snake. We're going to stick to Master Chief, and I'm going to throw a wrench in there. I'm going to say Mario.
Okay, that makes it a little harder.
No,
So who
no.
is it? Master
He's
Chief,
not, but he's not
Mario,
the
and
same
who?
caliber of person. You got like
Doesn't
fucking
matter.
sweetheart
He's
and then two
he's
evil.
a main character that is tasked with saving his planet, his land,
Sure,
his
okay,
kingdom,
okay.
all these things. He's that guy. So you have Master Chief, he saves Earth. You have
Saves
you
the
have
whole
Solid
universe.
Snake, who saves America, and you have Mario who saves the Mushroom or Flower Kingdom, depending on what game you play.
He saves the
Rob,
world too.
want to go back?
Well, then it'd have to be Master Chief.
No. See, I told you. Why Master Chief?
Well, because I was never a big Halo guy until you
Damn
guys.
I know, right? Now I'm like,
You can't.
What
You
if-
can't.
I'm a huge Super Mario fan, and I'm
Thank you.
enjoying Snake.
I'm thinking more
Snake
in
right
the
now,
lines of
so-
like Solid Snake, like Leon Kennedy, and I don't know why I associate that and like Cloud.
Well,
I
the
would say, like,
challenge though is that
you didn't play Final Fantasy. Though,
those
so
guys
Cloud
were only
means
in one
nothing.
game. They weren't the whole series built around them.
Right. That's what I.
So that's where I don't know if they,
right.
you know.
I was trying to
Well,
get a character that is a namestay that's a savior for the whatever. So
Okay,
that's why I
gotcha.
picked Sam Fisher. But it's fine. Sam Fisher, you didn't play Splinter Cell. You need to play Splinter Cell. I know
Fantastic.
you. I know
We'll
you're.
Put that on the list
you-
under Donnie Brasco. Under.
We're dead.
Awesome.
He'd rather replay
All right.
the
So
same shit.
Master Chief is out.
Yeah.
Are you going to revise that? And who are you going to say now? You're going to take Mario out?
I said from the start, it's in the vault that Mario I consider almost, if not a father
Untouchable.
figure, in a way. What? I consider Mario very much. I remember Mario from like some of my earliest memories.
Is
like
it
I
Mario
said,
or Mario?
I always said
Depends
Mario.
where you're
It's supposed to be
Super Mario Super Show. It's Mario.
Italians would
But
say
we just
Mario.
spit out Mario.
It's not Mario. It's
but-
Mario.
but it
It's
just
Super
comes-
Mario
Italians,
Super Mario
the actual
Brothers.
Italian language, it's Mario. You
He's
don't
a
even.
Super
It's not even
Mario.
Mar. It's
Yeah,
Italian,
Mario.
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 In
Yeah,
Italians,
but
they don't
nobody's
do a
saying
hard
that.
R like that.
Mario.
Mario.
Mario
Nobody's
is closer to
saying that.
Mario. Yo, Mario. Who the
But
fuck is Mario?
that's
Mario's
a Long
the guy in
Island.
the corner asking
But-
you for a cigarette.
But that's what I'm.
Fuck.
That,
Who says
well, that's
water?
my-
We say water instead of fucking water.
Water?
We
Coffee?
have an accent.
Water?
The Mario is a New York accent.
No, but I never
Long Island
said.
accent.
I never said Mario. I always
I
would say
guarantee
Mario.
if I fucking watch this episode back before, a Mario comes out of motherfuckers' mouths.
I gotta go.
Mario.
I guarantee it. I will go back and when
I've
we
always said
because we
Mario
talked
my whole
about
life.
it
He's
for how
always
long.
Super Mario.
Anyway,
yes,
I want to
right.
hear your pick.
It
Just
just comes
say
out of
Super
people's-
Mario.
Right,
Come
that's
on.
why it
Super
doesn't
Mario.
flow.
No,
Super
everybody
Mario
just gets
doesn't.
like
What do
their
you fucking eat? Chocolate and fucking water and fucking
Coffee?
coffee? You fucking
from Boston. Wicked
so
hot.
Mario, I consider like a somewhat absentee father
Yeah.
figure,
All right.
It's too easy.
parasocial relationship with a father,
Wow.
or an uncle. No, I mean I remember Mario from again being in the basement. Now I'm saying Mario,
Yeah.
from being in the basement, playing with my sister. It's one of my earliest.
Back up.
My fucking playing with my sister, playing Mario. There's nothing
Hey.
fucking wrong with saying
Flesh
that.
out the
you
system.
fucking-
Flesh it out. Flesh it out.
Help.
And
I mean, we're not from West Virginia, right, Steve?
yeah, definitely not. You know, I love Mario. Never gonna give that up in my
gonna let
favorite
him down?
games.
Okay.
And Solid Snake. I love Solid Snake. I'm sorry, Master Chief's going
Thank you.
because you know there's
That's it. He's gone because I'm voting.
now I'm
Master
going to start
Chief as well.
agreeing with everything Joe was saying earlier, but
Yes.
he doesn't have a very strong personality. He's not supposed to.
Roped it in.
That's the whole point. Is that's part of his
Vin's
character.
not going Master Chief. I could already tell, but
But
that's
here, hold on.
Vin loves
Fuck, you guys are already skipping a fucking Vin. I'm making my goddamn stand here. God damn
That's
it. Listen, no, because it is a good comparison. Snake and Chief have a very similar upbringing. They're both pretty much not John
No,
or
Chief
whatever.
was
his-
stolen
they're
as a baby.
trained.
He
they're
wasn't a
trained
clone,
killers.
John.
They're trained killers.
They're trained killers from childhood.
Right.
You
That's
know,
why
they're
I
pretty
picked
much
Sam
orphans
Fisher on there too. But so is
that were raised by some sort of strong woman.
corporation.
In
Yes.
he had Halsey, right? Halsey.
Yes.
Whereas Snake had, well, I'm thinking the problem with Snake is that it blends together because you have Solid Snake, you have Big Boss, who's not really actually the same guy, but he is the same guy.
Yeah.
What
you
if
know-
Snake had the Spartan armor? How hard unstoppable would
Oh
he be?
my god! Well, he wouldn't be Snake because then he wouldn't be
Can't
able to
sneak
sneak.
around. Yeah,
you know,
just
you can't
clunk,
clunk
clunk,
around in
clunk,
that
clunk.
shit. Yeah,
Well, that's the other thing.
unless
John,
you had the cloak.
John was like Snake, because there was a time where he didn't have the armor. But anyway,
And then, you know, they're both just trained killers that did save the world. You said
crazy.
Snake saved America. Snake saved the world. He's averted nuclear fucking, you know, battles. Snake has a cooler story. You know, he's a fucking clone. He ages prematurely. He's got way more villains and a cast around him, whereas, you know, Chief had, you know, there's always a main villain.
Yep.
But it's more like you're facing a race of aliens or like a people of sorts.
Right.
Whereas Snake, it's all these
Rogue
different
gallery.
character. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going on, but
All right.
come on.
3 for
Snake.
Chief. Vin, you already lost this one, but
He's
let's
not
hear
giving
your
up
pick.
Chief.
I'm thinking of all the reasons why you wouldn't get rid of Chief, because then you're saying Halo never existed, and that's just too much.
He's getting rid of
Because
Mario.
then Xbox doesn't exist. There's like a lot that goes along with that. You don't get Splinter Cell. You don't even get a lot because
You could
without
get
Halo,
Splinter Cell. I mean,
without Halo, Xbox doesn't survive like fucking
Hold on, wait.
5 years.
Can I know what
Halo
you're gonna say.
birthed the Xbox 360, basically. Like the whole reason everyone pivoted away from PlayStation
play Halo 3.
was to play Halo 2.
Halo 3 was on 360.
But Great Man
Oh,
Theory,
sorry,
if not for
but
Xbox,
Xbox
another
Live-
system would have rose up. and
Xbox
taken
Live
place.
Halo
so
2.
not only was the Xbox console, completely pillared by
Right.
Halo 1,
Right.
Xbox Live was pillared by Halo 2,
I agree.
and Xbox 360 was Halo. There's nothing else
They
you
would have
could
just
say.
had another game that's a
So if you
shooter.
get rid of Master Chief, there's no Xbox as well. If you said
Mm.
it's dynamite and the whole universe
All right.
explodes
All right,
because
that's a good point.
you got
They
rid
would
of
have found a different game.
Metal Gear, didn't necessarily need to happen.
So you're picking Snake.
Well, you wouldn't have Konami without Metal Gear and everything that comes with that. I mean, I don't know what
that
else.
means.
What else did Konami?
Konami
do?
also had like
Castlevania.
we had a lot of there's a lot of Konami. Because I'm thinking of the Super Nintendo was Street Fighter was
Capcom.
I just want to
Oh, right.
at the 2-year mark here. I do want to jump, maybe potentially step on Vin's line here, but Vin has always traditionally rated differently from us. In that he'll usually say, "I'm going to base this off of what can I going forward if I never played it again."
That's the whole point, though. You're supposed to do that.
But that's not really how we rate it based off of our past and our
does.
feelings, and a lot
Whether
of us
he
do.
played it or not.
But Vin has always said, well, I'm going to judge it based off of if I don't play it going forward, what would I care the least about?
right.
I'm just saying, I that's your thing. I've noticed that over the 2 years.
I'm
that we've
taking
been-
the counter because when you say get rid of Master Chief, I just disagree because he's one of my top 5 ever.
From the Dungeon says Master Chief Halo blows. And Stephen Bias says, dude, I spit my drink out on that one. This is gold.
I think that was about the Jesus Christ
Jesus
line.
Christ.
that was definitely the Jesus
Yeah.
Christ
I mean,
one.
he is the
All right.
Jesus
Halo
Christ.
doesn't blow.
So
That's the craziest statement
you're
I've
picking Snake or Mario? Mario.
You got to take into
Mario
account, though, the last couple
Mario?
of Halos haven't
Is it
been very
Mario
good.
or Mario? Which one are you taking out?
I want to say
Because if you take out Mario, there's no Nintendo.
But
To
then
your,
you can argue and say that there's no video games because if Mario didn't sell the Nintendo, then
it's
fucking
true. It's a hard point.
But
That's
if you can't play Metal Gear, you can't play Halo, you can't play Mario, which one do you care the most? And I fear what your answer is going to be.
I could go without Metal Gear. I could
Yeah.
definitely go without Metal
It-
Gear. Yeah,
You only
100%.
played one, right?
No, I played the first 2. No, I played the first 2 because I didn't get a.
So you didn't play the best one. Though.
Yeah, I didn't. I got
you.
an Xbox because I played fucking Halo, and that was it. The PlayStation 2 is dead at that moment. I missed.
It's on Xbox, isn't it?
I lost
Yeah.
Metal Gear. I lost Grand Theft Auto. I gave up major series to switch to Xbox
Resident
because
Evil.
that's how good Halo fucking was. So I'll stand by that
making
shit.
me
So you're
I was
retract my-
there.
Making me
I was
retract.
there in the moment. I swear, my friend got the Xbox for, like before Christmas. I think his birthday was in November.
I'm going to retract my statement. He convinced me.
Come on now, Master Chief
Now
is
we're
one
gonna
of the
tie- we're gonna tie
all-time
it up.
great.
Well, you're gonna get
video
rid of
game
Snake?
guys.
I'm going to get rid of
No,
Snake.
you can hold,
can
you
live without-
fucking
you
prick.
can live
hold on,
without-
you
you can
stuttering
live
prick.
without-
This motherfucker has crucified me how many
Nah,
times? He
you
was
can
the one
live
with the
without-
fucking
I'm
spirit of the
pulling a
ribs.
Chris. I'm pulling a Chris.
No, you're not. You
I'm
can't. It's
pulling a
already
Chris.
the vote was already cast.
I didn't cast my vote. I
The-
didn't get to go.
the
You
vote-
didn't even hear from me.
You fucking
Oh,
cast
didn't hear from
you
me.
lying bastard. Fuck. Your name is Metal Gear Flex. There would be no Joe if not.
My-
I have a
my-
really good one.
My original gamer tag was Metal Gear Halo.
Doesn't matter. It's not anymore.
Can I do a teaser? Who stays? Who goes? I swear,
I have a last one for wrestling, but yeah, of course. What do you?
Fuck. If you were to get rid of one,
So we're
Would
changing
it-
now. Next
I
Tuesdays,
know,
who
I know,
goes?
I know.
So wait. We
Should we
can't move
should I
on to
do
the wrestling one yet. We got to finish
All
this
right,
off.
all right.
It's not a tie though, because if it comes down to a tie, you're still gonna say, all right, well,
It's
if we
the
got to
best
break the tie. You already voted for Chief to go.
No,
so.
that was when Sam Fisher was in the equation.
It's true. See, he's getting the.
You just
revote.
said you're changing your vote though.
I changed the vote because there's no way I'm getting rid of Mario or
That's Chief.
Chief.
Sorry.
So you're getting rid of Snake.
I'm gonna get rid of-
Pillars.
The only reason I'm getting rid of Snake is because I did not like 4 and 5. They took David Hayter out of the voice. I didn't like that one either.
There you go.
there was more to that though, because it ends up being that you're not even actually Snake. You're just a guy that was.
That's why I didn't like.
So
it.
that's why I was okay with it not being David Hayter,
but I
and they
didn't
brought
like
him
it.
back.
Didn't like it.
They brought him back.
Didn't like it.
Well,
Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't
It was
a bad
actually a
game.
pretty good
Just
game.
Didn't feel like Metal Gear to me. It was too open-ended and too repetitive in terms of what you were doing. You're clearing out a bunker. You're clearing out a little fort. You're just, I don't know. I
All
didn't.
right, well, you know what? This is probably the most idyllic situation because when we have a tie,
Nobody
it
goes.
pretty
This is
much
what
means nobody dies.
No, the comments have to fucking decide. Who will say?
Comments never fucking decide. In
Metal Gear is
show
on
canon,
Xbox.
it is a tie, so both get to live, just like Game of Thrones got to live.
Well, I mean, Master Chief was from the dungeon. Little Joe is in the room, is in the house. He said, definitely not Halo. He's got Snake has to go. And Stephen Bio says, without Mario, we lose everything. Without Joe, never meets it. And without Mario, I never meet Joe.
That is a good point. Without Halo, I would have probably never met Vin because
That's
I
right.
met I met Joe in high school.
Metal
We
Gear,
became
Metal
friends
Gear,
very
as
well.
good as it is,
Of
it's an
gaming.
offline game.
Pillar.
It didn't bring people together like
Chief
Halo
was
did.
Chief was the man.
I agree.
And
Are
the
you going to pull another Chris and go
And-
with?
No,
Chief?
I'm not changing my fucking
Not changing
vote.
your fucking vote?
Sorry, I mean, if I were to go by Vin's rating system of which, if I never had to play any of
if
them
you were to
going
go
forward,
purely on popularity, you'd have to say that Solid Snake would be the one to get eliminated. Because if you think of it from the lens of if there were a Mount Rushmore of the most important video game characters of all time,
Solid Snake
there
would
is
be on it.
There is no Mount Rushmore that would not have Mario on it.
No.
Not
No.
one.
No, you can't even argue
And
that.
for the people
Chief
that are
would be
Xbox
on there
heads,
too. Yeah.
Again,
Chief would be on there
the-
because he was the herald of his system. Sonic the Hedgehog would
Even-
be like another one.
but Snake is a
Even
better
when you-
character for all the reasons that we already
But
covered.
even when you get down to, I was just gonna say, even if you got rid of
This one turned into a bloodbath. I
all
like
those circumstances, the multiplayer, every meeting,
Yeah.
even as a character, to me, Master Chief was one of the most badass
it.
characters.
Not as badass
and
as
did-
Snake.
Bro, he did some of the most badass moments.
No, not as
Anybody could do what
Covenant
he did
bomb.
with his super suit.
Nobody could do what
Fucking
he did.
Snake did that
Nobody
shit
could
with
do.
no shirt.
People who tried
Snake
to do what
did a-
he did in that suit
He was
without his
didn't have a
abilities.
suit, and he took out a fucking giant mech,
Okay, so first of all,
a giant fucking nuclear fucking warhead.
he's not just
Metal Gear.
he's not a regular guy in a suit. He's even more enhanced
Yeah,
normally.
yeah.
Snake's
But
not
anyway,
that enhanced.
I'm talking about
Not-
Master Chief.
Snake's not enhanced at all.
I'm
Snake's
talking
not
about-
enhanced at all.
Snake-
It did
Snake's
similar
a-
shit.
Well, isn't Snake a perfect clone?
He was a clone, but he was a clone of a good soldier. He wasn't enhanced.
He's
He
not
wasn't tweaked?
enhanced. He's
I
not.
thought- I don't know why I
Actually,
thought
in
Solid-
fact, being a clone is his biggest weakness because that's what
dies
the whole
fast.
plot of Metal Gear Solid 4 is that he's prematurely aging
Alright,
because
you're not
the
going to tell me the moments in Halo in the single player campaign.
I always thought Halo
were not
campaign
epic.
sucked. I always thought Halo's
What?
story
What
sucked.
the
I never
fuck?
cared about
Shut
Halo's.
the shut the
just
I
show
doesn't
down.
even
never
like
cared
solo
about Halo's
campaigns.
story
What?
whatsoever. I liked the multiplayer was some of the
You
best
know why?
Halo's
You can't-
multiplayer was the
It's
best
another
multiplayer.
game on rails with no fucking. You can't abuse that game in any way. It's open world, but it's
That's
it's
not
on-
even why. I just thought the
just
story
does
was
not
kind of
like that
whack.
shit.
You know, it's like, oh, Snake. I'm not Snake. Not
Tell
even
me the
Snake,
story
fucking-
again. What was that?
We have to save humanity from the flood or the fucking what was the name of the other ones?
Covenant.
Covenant, and then there's the other one no after in 4.
Well, they're the Forerunners. So the
Forerunners,
Forerunners
and then
built a technology to wipe out the flood. The flood was this looming doom. You can't tell me when the flood came in you weren't fucking scared. Jesus. Anyway,
I started with
We can
Halo
go
3.
on,
I
clearly.
started with Halo
All right.
3.
clearly,
The
It's
story.
getting late. Final fucking topic. We're gonna call it an even draw on this one. Last topic of the night: pro wrestling.
Well, wait, you had it, didn't you? Have an idea? You said for that?
we're not going to keep going because
No,
mine's.
let's get to the last one. Let's go home, Yoko. Let's do this.
All right, pro wrestling to finish it off for the 2-year anniversary. One of these wrestlers did not exist. Hulk Hogan. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
I don't think you're gonna say Ric Flair. I think you're gonna say The Rock.
Shawn Michaels.
Not Ric Flair.
Don't do Shawn Michaels because that'll just be a
I'm
fucking.
definitely not
That would
doing
just be a
definitely not doing
self-masturbatory fucking
it. I'm
practice.
absolutely not going to do Shawn Michaels.
What was he going to say? He's going to say.
Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold,
There's only.
John Cena.
You can't see me. You can we play hide and seek?
Hulk
You can't-
Hogan, Stone Cold, Macho Man Randy Savage. Rob? He's going to have a hard time with this one.
This is a tough one. This is very tough. I mean, it's going to surprise you guys, but
That's not going to surprise
Stone Cold.
Yeah, I knew.
That does surprise me.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Wow, he doesn't want to break up the megaphone.
But I love all three of those wrestlers. I would say that Stone Cold was probably my favorite of the Attitude Era.
Oh, my God. Stephen Bias says, Savage is gone. Sorry, Liz. And From the Dungeon says, get rid of Stone Cold. Wow.
Damn.
Guys are
Wow.
You know, and
Get-
that was
I
a
don't know
tough
if you
one, but
get-
Final
I mean-
answer, Rob?
yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan was like my favorite as a little kid, but Macho Man, like, he's got to be in my top 3 wrestlers of all time. Macho Man specifically.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Today.
Macho Man is the one guy that 40 years later could still go back and his promos are hysterical. As an adult, like I don't.
So is Stone Cold.
He's one of the most
I'm thinking
rewatchable-
Hulk Hogan's weak in this one.
Okay, so
And I
what-
will say
think
that
do you want to go next, Vin? Is that your answer?
I don't want to break the. I got to think a little more.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Because it's another.
Think real hard because there's no retracting.
Are there
this one.
conditions, or is it like
Same thing we always do.
Okay.
It's not
Never
that hard of a
existed.
choice for me, and I'm a huge Macho Man fan.
Oh no!
I just bought a little, portrait of him from
Oh.
the artist Brian Kong. It's beautiful. But you can't get rid of Hulk Hogan. I mean, we've done a Who Stays, Who Goes with Hogan in it. I feel like we've done this. You can't get rid of Hogan, because then you don't really have wrestling. And then you can't get rid of Stone Cold because then you don't have wrestling beyond the 80s. Whereas if Macho Man's out of the picture, you still have Hogan, who is Macho
The face of the
Man-esque. There would, I don't know. I feel like 80s wrestling would have been able to survive without Macho, but it wouldn't have been able to survive without Hogan, I think. Even though I think that Macho is a better character, probably a better wrestler, a better promo than Hogan is. That's not to say that I like Macho less than, Hogan. I actually probably like Macho more than Hogan. But if I had to choose one to get rid of, I feel like we'd be all right without Macho, but we would not be, there would be no wrestling without Hogan. And without Stone Cold, I mean, there's no 90s wrestling. I mean, what do you have? You still have everybody else. You got, The Rock and Triple H and Foley and all those other guys that were there at that time. But, Stone Cold brought wrestling to heights that have never been realized.
But the Attitude Era survived for the time that Stone Cold was out with his injury.
Yeah.
Then
It survived, but it was always down. Business was always down when Stone Cold was out, and when Stone Cold, when he got injured, and when he turned heel.
When you go to the
When
shows,
it killed when he left, and then look how much business he brought to even the last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He still draws numbers, so it was able to survive, but it was always a very noticeable impact when Stone Cold wasn't there. And you could say the same thing if Hogan, whenever he was out injured or making fucking a movie, or the steroid trial, wrestling survives without him. And Macho, same thing. You could say the same thing about any of them.
a lot of really good people get over if Hogan isn't there.
Yes.
they probably would have gotten unionized if Hogan wasn't there.
Vin, kick it off.
So yeah, it's funny taking, of course, it's hard, the snap. You're thinking about it like, oh, if you just get rid of them, like how does this shit carry on? And Hogan's a pillar. But for me, like in terms of enjoyment of wrestling and at my age and not being a fan from, let's say, day one and growing up and being in the Hogan sphere of things, definitely the Austin thing. That's what brought me into wrestling was Stone Cold and The Rock, 100%. I wasn't watching wrestling when it was the King in the Ring and, the Attitude Era was born in the Austin promo. I came in after that, so I was definitely one of those, get on that bandwagon of the Attitude Era.
You never had your Hulkamania tour,
Never.
You haven't seen the magic of Hulkamania to truly.
It's funny when I started watching the classics on Peacock, I got to when he came in and fought Andre. That was like legit, kind of where I stalled out and I stopped watching because I was watching even some of the early stuff. I would just like play it in the background and kind of listen to the matches and watch them. But yeah, I would say I just enjoy Stone Cold way too much to write him off. There's just no way. How many beers?
What?
One beer.
What?
Two.
What?
What?
3, hot,
4.
hot.
Kill.
So, and then Macho Man and Cream of the Crop, just all of the fucking great. No one impersonates Hulkamania aside from like, hey brother,
Oh, that's not true. You got the fucking, the fucking
More
names.
people do a Macho Man than probably any other wrestler, though.
And his move was the leg drop.
The voice was, that voice was
fucking Macho Man off the top. I just again, it's definitely goes. It's more of a fandom thing, and then not.
So Hulk Hogan
understanding.
goes.
Hulk Hogan goes.
So we have Rob picked Stone Cold, you picked Macho Man, and he picked Hulk Hogan. So whoever I pick is gone. I don't think we've ever had that. Now the pressure is really on.
The
power. They're actually going. You
the
have
power
to
between my
decide.
legs, brother. Damn, that's really tough because all of you had really good points. Rob picking Stone Cold, his theory is that the Attitude Era would have survived and thrived off of Mick Foley, The Rock, Triple H, The Big Show, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Rikishi. Probably not to the height that Stone Cold brought it, but you also have to think about variables. If there's no Stone Cold, are they so eager to get rid of Bret Hart? If there's no Stone Cold, what happens to The Undertaker, to Shawn Michaels, to guys like this? So that's a tough one. That's really tough. Macho Man is probably the outlier in this because while he was a huge star,
wasn't the top guy.
He was never the focal point of the company for a decade, where Hogan had the 80s, Austin had the late 90s into the early 2000s. This one's very tough. Now, the only thing about this is if you can go back, and I think Steven probably from the dungeon could, to 1983, when Vince McMahon was trying to remove Bob Backlund as his champion, he took over the company from his dad, and his dad was notorious for putting his champions as like a all-American collegiate wrestler who can take on all these bad guys from different countries, and he had Bruno Sammartino, and he had Bob Backlund, who was champion for a very long time. Vince McMahon wanted to do away with that, and he wanted someone who was an imposing figure, someone who just brought like life to the product and who can just like bring in a new audience. That Hulk Hogan brought in the rock and wrestling connection. It made the WWF mainstream. It was on MTV. It was on NBC. It was on Saturday nights, Saturday Night Live. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's the only wrestler still to this day who's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So my thought process is if you remove Hulk Hogan and he selects maybe Dusty Rhodes to be his champion in 1984, or maybe he moves up Macho Man, even though Macho Man was a little bit shorter and he wanted a bigger guy. Vince liked the guys who you pay a ticket and you're seeing somebody that you don't see in a grocery store or at a baseball game or something like that.
The phrasing they always use is somebody that turns heads in an airport.
Absolutely.
When you see them at the airport, you know that's a
and
star.
Hulk Hogan did that.
Right. You can't miss him. He's gargantuan.
My thought process is if you remove Hogan, then you have so many other cast of characters in those 80s, to Vince's point, they could probably would have had a bigger impact. But would we be sitting here talking about wrestling? Would I be sitting here talking about wrestling? The reason I got into basketball is I saw the 1988 slam dunk contest and this guy dunking from a free throw line wearing a chain. Like I didn't know what the hell I was watching. I was like, holy shit, he's like a superhero. I got into pro wrestling because Hulk Hogan, he was like a neon light. He was like a stop sign. He had the Frankfurter tan. He had the red and yellow. He had the oil. He was just screaming and yelling, and he had the long blonde bleached hair.
Despite the fact that he looked like he was like fucking 50 years old, like balding, the hair and everything.
He wasn't balding that much in the early 80s. He was still balding, but he
looked old as hell.
The crown.
He did look old, but it's just he just had this, and then I think the name is what really drives it home because it's
the alliteration.
It has Hulk because you're a fan of Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, and he even came out and they announced him in the 80s, early 80s as the Incredible Hulk Hogan.
Oh my God.
Which,
Playing with fire.
Yeah, so I mean that's why they had it. They switched it to the Immortal Hulk Hogan years later when Marvel's like, no, can't call him the Incredible Hulk. That's our thing.
They're pushing his
They had Lou Ferrigno back then.
Yeah,
and they named him Hogan because Vince wanted a strong Irish star.
Yeah, and
like Hogan's Heroes.
And truth be told, Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Bollea, and he's an Italian.
Actually, no, I think he was something else too. He's
French. Something like that.
It wasn't Italian. He's
Bolea?
something weird. Not weird, but something uncommon. I forget what it was. I don't want to say like Hungarian or something like that. It was something I left.
Just some
Somebody look
Italian
it
in
up.
there.
From
Anyway.
the dungeon will know.
So who you voting
So
for?
Hulk's staying.
Hulk is staying. Man, this is rough. This is really rough. Because I love Macho. And Macho, for me, Macho's in my top 3 of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
The other person that's in the top 3, obviously, is Bret Hart. And the third person who would be in the top 3 would be Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I'm thinking now.
2 of your top 3s.
It's not Hulk Hogan, because if I pick Hulk Hogan, that means we don't have a WrestleMania, we don't have a Boom, we don't have WrestleMania 3, we don't have Hogan Andre, we don't have Hogan Macho Man, we don't have all of these things. So, man, if I take out Stone Cold, I don't know that the WWF was able to get away from.
Beat WCW.
I don't know if they're able to beat WCW.
And then they just become Hogan again.
But if you look at the characters that they had before Stone Cold, they had a garbage man, they had a clown, they had an IRS agent, they had a hockey player, they had a dead man. They had all these gimmicks that were just like. And Stone Cold came out, and he just wore a black vest, black boots, black ties. What? Kick your ass? What? Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Drinking beer.
What? So it's really hard, but I'm
and
gonna
it's
have
the story of
Him
beating
and
your
Vince.
boss.
Yeah.
Fuck, everybody hates their boss. No, that story's.
Hogan
and
couldn't do
I
that.
think the memories you get from the McMahon bedpan, where he cracks him in the head with a
my
bedpan in
favorite
the
thing of
hospital.
There's so many.
There's just
The
you can't
monster
take
truck,
that
the
away.
beer
You can't
truck,
erase
his
him.
Favorite
running
of all
over.
time, but you killed him, Rob.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Macho Man Randy Savage.
There
It's
it
all
is.
Macho gets
And
eliminated.
I think it was Steven said that we have to get rid of the Macho Man over here now.
Oh, Jesus.
We
We're
have
gonna
to
have to
do
buy the
that.
Jake the Snake now.
We're gonna have to get the new wrestler
There is
buddy here.
there is a new one. The new line came out with them, and they do have a Stone Cold and a Cody Rhodes and a couple of them. So we could-
Cold would
Just
be a good
to
one back then.
follow up, and they got it here. I did look it up. Hulk Hogan is Panamanian, Scottish, and French, and his dad was Italian.
all right, here we go.
So he's Panamanian was the one that surprised
We
me.
don't talk about that.
But that's the thing, is he actually in his biography
Panamania,
said
brother.
he didn't have to tan that much. He's naturally pretty tan. I did want to ask. I know we're trying to wind down, but I did think I had a pretty good question. It's a quick one, all right? Who is your favorite Hulk Hogan rivalry?
Randy Savage.
Hulk and Randy?
Yeah, I'm not even close.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Just everything, Miss Elizabeth.
Well, if you think about like
Hands aren't down for me.
how they evolved that storyline to where they didn't like each other. Macho was the Intercontinental Champion in 1986, 87, and Hulk was the World Champion. They would wrestle on house shows, but they never had a headline event until WrestleMania 4. Right before WrestleMania 4, Macho Man actually loses the title in WrestleMania 3 to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He loses to Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, yeah. And the fans start to gain an affinity for Macho because he lost his belt. He's starting to show that he's vulnerable, and he's putting on really great matches. So they flip Macho after WrestleMania 3 from an amazing heel, which he was, to a babyface. And on an episode of Saturday Night's Main Event where he wrestled Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart and Honky Tonk Man came out to the ring, and they attacked Macho. They were a part of Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart's stable, right? So the Hart Foundation, Anvil, and Bret, they're holding up Macho Man, and the Honky Tonk Man whacks the Macho Man over the head with his guitar, knocks him out, and they pick him up, and they're about to do it again, and Elizabeth gets in the way, and Honky Tonk kind of stutters. He's about to crack Macho, and Elizabeth gets in the way, and then they do it again, push her out of the way. He becomes a huge heel. He put his hand on a woman, which if you think back to like 1987, 1988, that wasn't seen on like anything, especially like pro wrestling. That just didn't happen. She goes out to the back. She comes back pulling Hulk Hogan by the arm, and he sees Macho Man, who he didn't really like, but he sees him getting his shit kicked in, and he helps him. And that formed the Mega Powers. And for a year, they were like a top tag team. They were like the biggest, like, they would go against Andre and DiBiase. They would go against Hakeem and the Big Boss Man. And WrestleMania 4, they had the world title that's behind you, the Winged Eagle. That was the first time that title was up for grabs. It was a tournament held at WrestleMania 4. And Macho Man won the tournament and became the champion. And this is WrestleMania 4. And then little by little, there started to be some dissension in the ranks between Hulk and Macho. He's jealous of the championship, brother. And you got lust in your eyes for Elizabeth, yeah. And then their mega powers exploded at WrestleMania 5, and Hulk finally wins the title back from him. And then to spite him, Macho Man says, I don't need this title. I'm going to be the Macho King now. Yeah, Hogan, and I'm going to bring in Zeus, yeah. Give me some Zeus. So it just goes on, and if you go to WCW, they had a huge feud there. So by far, hands down, I know I went long-winded. You said quick answer, but I couldn't give you a quick answer because still to this day, that's my favorite rivalry of all time.
What do you say, Rob?
Same.
Yeah, I thought you might say maybe Andre. You said you put Andre in your Hall of Fame, or
It's
your
true, but Andre and Hogan's rivalry was a short-lived thing.
The matches weren't as good.
But that moment is not the moment. Is
You
the
realize
most.
when you watch that match, it's 90% Andre hobbling across the ring trying to beat up Hulk Hogan, and then Hulk Hogan finally, after getting beaten for like 40 minutes, picks him up, slams him, and then that's it. It's the end of the match.
Well, fair enough.
Macho Man was able to be like a guy that he'd fight in the ring as opposed to just getting clobbered and then pulling a win out of his ass at the end.
Okay, I'll
It's a
keep
great
it quick
match.
because Vin's got a piss and he didn't watch Hulk Hogan that
I
much
gotta
anyway,
get
so you don't have to
Couldn't say
answer
it.
this.
Yeah.
Couldn't say. I'm gonna say the Undertaker, and here's why. I know. Look at Joe's face. But Undertaker was brought in against Hogan, was he not? Like
No.
that was really
Just keep going.
that was his marquee.
No.
Don't end the show on this.
Marquee.
Nope.
No, I'm gonna say Undertaker.
They only had 3 matches against each other.
But
And they never had a
for me, that was like my introduction, really more so. I guess I started watching.
That was Survivor Series 1991 when he beat Hulk Hogan for the title. You talking about that? Or are you talking
the
about
whole. I couldn't even tell you the dates. I'm not a historian like you, but
Hulkamania? Oh, my Undertaker will bury you. Yes.
isn't it when the cast? Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I forget who it was that he faced, but it was like maybe it was a casket match, I think. And then the casket at the very end, they like show the inside. They like took a video, and it was the Undertaker like waking up.
That's not a Hogan feud.
Who was that? What was that?
That was a feud when he was a face, when he was fighting Yokozuna.
Is it Yoko? And
Yeah.
then the fucking thing sets on fire.
I mean, in the early days of the Undertaker, when he was a heel, and when he first wrestled Hulk Hogan in '91, he was a heel. He would make caskets for his opponents and put their logo on it. So that there was a Hulkamania casket, there was an Ultimate Warrior casket, things like that. But that's hard to say, like the best Hulk Hogan rivalry of all time.
It's not.
I could see you saying Ric Flair, Macho Man, The Rock.
It's close to my heart.
Undertaker is the last person that would. I guess it's nostalgic, and you're looking at
It's
it from
close to my. I'm looking at it from
Okay.
my own
All right,
lenses.
well,
I just remember like Hulk Hogan's gonna fight and I was a child. I'm like, Hulk Hogan's gonna fight this fucking dead guy. Like, what the fuck? It was literally my mindset. It was like that. Undertaker scared the shit out of me.
Yes,
And he continued
That
to
was the
scare the
point.
shit
It was
out of me.
supposed to
it was
scare you.
awesome.
He's scary.
The fact
and-
that like you'd knock him down, he would just get up like
Michael
Jake-
Myers.
Michael Myers.
Siri's listening right now. Fucking Siri.
Yeah. Fuck you, Siri. Go home, Yoko. What?
Help. Well, Vince said you don't want us to end the
That's
show.
right. He's here in spirit. He's pissing.
All right. Well, sorry, Vin. But listen, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for 2 fucking years of the Break Room podcast. Could you believe that? 2 years, guys? We've been doing this. It gives us a great excuse for us to get together every week. We love you guys that tune in every week, and you add so much to our show, and you're the driving force behind us to keep us keep this show going. So once again, thank you so much to the fans. We're going to be signing out here, but you can catch us again next week on Friday Night Live. This has been the Break Room Podcast. Snoochie Boochies, and may the force be with you.